Yeah, I'm metaphorically. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Tribe Talks. That's right, we are here once again on your Sunday ears, coming in your ear holes. Today we are joined by none other than Eggnods of Egg fame and Gungi's activities. How you doing, Egg? Thanks for joining us today, buddy.
What do we mean by egg fame? Like,
well, when people
breakfast
think
food?
eggs, they usually think Eggnods or my head.
Okay.
So
not like eggnog or like scrambled eggs.
I mean, those are also egg-based products.
Humpty Dumpty.
He did fall off a wall, I've heard. But all my sources say that there's no coming back.
Yeah, no, I heard they couldn't put him back together again.
No, so pour one out for your boy Humpty. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. But scrambled eggs, very nice. You know,
Can you believe
more
it
of a
was
poached
unscripted?
Completely unscripted, guys. Yeah, we went completely ad-libbing.
Unprompted.
Karth is fully locked in and engaged right now. Just not necessarily on this. He's here in spirit.
I am here. I'm ad-libbing through.
I too am here.
I too am an egg on the wall.
Yes. You're a furry egg right now because your hair is growing back after the summer shave, and that's okay. I don't judge.
I'll shave it again here probably before I go home next week.
Are you not home?
Well, back in Vancouver. Sorry, where I grew up is where I consider home still.
I see. That's fine. That's fine because sometimes I look at that. I live about 3.5 hours away from where I grew up, and I still think, that's my home, even though it's not literally my home. So yeah,
and it probably hasn't been for a while.
No, it hasn't been for. Oh my God, I'm old. Like nearly 20 years.
No, let's not think about it because I was thinking about that this morning. Not specifically your home, but like
that would be strange.
That happened, and I go, shit. Like it's been a long time. I am not young anymore.
Yeah, no, I'm not young anymore. I had hair when I lived there. I mean, that's.
I think I would think of it differently if I was if I wasn't living where I went to college. So I stayed in that town and started working, and so it's like for me, it still has that dynamic of like I went home all the time during college. I never thought of this place as my actual home, but now I've been here for the better part of 12, 15 years.
Yeah, like, that's your home now, Karth.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want it to be. Okay.
I don't want it to be. Yeah, I feel you. So welcome everybody. This is Tribe Talks. This is the podcast where we talk exclusively about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and quite literally any other shit that occurs to our, ADHD riddled brains. So yes. Galaxy of Heroes, guys. What a game, hey? What's happened recently? We've had an assault battle for GLAT come round, right?
Hey, in fairness, that was like actually low key. I was actually kind of okay with. Their post made it seem like you had to have multiple R9s for it, and it was just GLAT. So that's not bad.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
And it ran for 2 days.
And we got to
do it twice. Sorry.
Well, because technically that counts as it's once per month, right? Because it was October 31st and November 1st. So do
we know that for sure?
Yeah, it's in the post.
Did he say that it's for November, December in the post?
No, sorry. We don't know that that's for sure. No.
Yeah.
But it was their objective to run it once each month. So
yes,
if they let it run both days, I guess it counts that we didn't get it earlier in October, and then it'll carry us through November. It probably will come back for the anniversary, would be my guess. I would not be surprised if we get an event deluge during the anniversary.
100%.
That'd be so beautiful.
Could
you imagine if they bring back all of the era battles?
Dude, if we can get all the era battles back for like the one after Christmas, like that,
that would be.
All the assault battles, all the era battles.
My free R9s, thank you very much. I'll find some useless character to promote.
Yep,
I would love it. I would be a big fan. I would be swimming in R9s.
Me too. I too would be swimming in R9s. Now, we've got, so actually let's talk about that, because I was talking about it on that Discord channel earlier today, because I was under the assumption that the Ahsoka event was going to be a permanent monthly event, but it is kind of confusing in the post, because they call it a limited time event, and then they say, but we also plan on doing this monthly. It's like,
well,
pick a lane, CG. Pick a lane.
Well, yeah, limited time as it's only going to be here for a couple of days, but it will reoccur. So it's a loose interpretation of the limited time, right? It's like it's a 24-hour event. You only have 24 hours to do it, and then you have to wait till the next cycle for it to come back, and then you can play it again. Yeah. But I think that was their spin on limited time. Was specifically about that it's only was going to run for a short window of time, and then you'd come back. Same like a legendary event or whatever else. Call them limited time events, but they reoccur every 3 to 4 months, and then they go permanent. Wouldn't that be great? After the year,
what CG needs to do is they need to take one from Wizards of the Coast's playbook, Magic the Gathering, right? If you look, not that I'm that big of a nerd, but if you look at like newer cards, they have a very specific syntax to everything that they say. Mm-hmm. And if you look at cards from 1990, it's just sentence structure, and there's a lot of like, it could be this or it could be that. Yeah. And they just need to pick verbiage for each specific thing that is consistent all the time, so we know. And that's the problem that happened with Peridia Patrol, when they said, oh, by the way, we're going to actually start cycling out assault battles. And we said, wait, hold on a second. But assault battles are always permanent. Assault battle means permanent every month. That's what that means. And they had to backtrack it, because that our expectation was based off of 7 years of experience. So they need to just come up with keeping everything very consistent over time, so that we can say, all right, we know what that means. We know what this means. We know what that means.
Yes, definitely. Like complete transparency and clarity would be great. That would be really handy. Either way, come Monday, I'm going to rock up into Meathead's Discord DMs and be like, "Aye, what did you mean? Is this hanging around? Will it be every month for the foreseeable future, or are you going to take it away from us in like, I don't know, a year's time and introduce one for JML instead?" Like, I don't know.
I think that your answer, if I know Meathead well, is going to be,
what did you have to do?
I have no more information at this time.
Oh, no. Not a complete
defense. Or he'll shift it to something completely different. How was your weekend?
I'll be like, Meathead, man, fucking, I love you, but no. Yeah. Maybe we can get some clarity on that. That would be great. But either way, it's still good that they've done it. I do wish it came out more like, when Ahsoka came out, for those of us that actually unlocked day one.
I mean, which I 100% agree to. I am at least a little happy that she finally got something, and I kind of hope this is they kind of go back and do some economy events for Galactic Legends. I mean, we have that a little bit with the event after Conquest
run.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of that for the older GLs. And I know that it's going to be a challenge to go back and add something specific for every GL. Like, if you have Jedi Master Luke, we'll add something to the Separatist Assault Battle, because it's the one you're supposed to use the Jedi on. We'll add a tier to that one, or whatever else, like a new harder tier that requires Relic 9 JML, or
that would be an interesting way to do it. That would be a very interesting way to do it.
Well, it gives you the existing structure with very little, and then you just got to get the reward pool and then just put the lockout on R9.
I don't disagree with that at all.
The JML one could be as simple as let's replicate the crate battle versus Slacker. They've already got it in the game. You know, it's in, I believe it's the Ultimate Journey event. Already does that, but just make it a one-on-one battle.
Oh, the planet. Yeah, sorry.
No, not the crate dragon.
I was thinking,
the planet
I was thinking of the dragon. I was like, no.
You're like, JML didn't fight the crate dragon. You shut the fuck up, Scribe. Do you even play this game, motherfucker?
Was that?
Yeah, that wasn't an allowable class or faction tag. I mean, if they want to do something like that with existing events or create their own little miniature ones of it, I would be fine with it to a degree. I think the existing assault battles would be easier though, because like we don't need the character shards from those GLs like we did from the other ones. I was a little surprised they put the first 2 tiers with character shards, because I think Ahsoka's still new enough that it made sense.
I think there should be an element of let's do something to help the newer players, and then let's also reward the players that have invested. So it can be stuff like we will give you some shards of some of the marquees that are required for this character, as well as a little bit of credits or maybe some Omega materials or something like that. And then the later tier can be locked to Relic 9, and that can give you stuff like the girders and the droid brains and all that sort of good business. Yeah, because I remember talking to Meathead about this what feels like months ago now. Though he was having me rate the GLs, and he was asking why I felt like Ahsoka was so low on the list, and it's like, well, because out of all the new stuff that's out there, she doesn't really have an economy event that makes you get rewarded for. But then her other downside is her best character is better on so many other teams than hers. Yep.
Like,
yes,
it's an unfortunate setup for what you have, is that you made Ezra too valuable on other teams that it didn't make sense. And so, which, I mean, what they could easily do to fix a lot of that kind of stuff is they can just introduce a new character that requires, if all allies are Rey, Ben plus resistance or whatever they don't want to do with that, right? They can make that work. Honestly, what they should go back and do is give the Hoda or not Hoda. Holdo, Jesus Christ.
Holdo.
Holdo or OG JTR or just a couple of other older Resistance characters and give them inspired mechanics.
Rose is Taco.
Well, the ones that don't need to go live with freaking
Zori Bliss and
Bliss. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what about veteran smugglers?
Well, they got a touch up once, and to be honest, unfortunately, where the game goes now, they're better with the Wookiees if you ever decide to go down that route.
Which nobody does.
And who does?
Well, when there's a cron about once a year that supports them, when you can get 400% defense on them and then go wreck somebody's day.
Meanwhile, I have an R9 Tarful, and I don't use them at all.
Hey, snap, bro! I've got Gear 12 Tarful. He's been stuck at Jedi Knight Cal Kestis unlock requirements since I unlocked Jedi Knight Cal Kestis.
I pulled the short straw on that requirement for
TB, was it?
Maybe Vandor. I don't know, whatever planet it was.
Yeah,
I want to say it's got to be.
I feel like it's Vandor.
Yeah, it's got to be one of the middle planets. I want to say.
Fair.
Yeah,
maybe Relic Delta will help mine out to do the Wookiee mission.
It would. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Can you not auto the Wookiee mission?
I can't auto it yet. I can do it, but I can't auto it.
Weird. What's your lineup?
I don't do it every time. Wookiees, Tarful, Chubio, Zalbar. I know that it's easier with Vandor Chewie, but I don't have him at high relics, and it's not worth enough points for me to take Vandor Chewie up.
Oh yeah, no, I won't argue that.
So I just don't do the mission anymore.
Well, Vandor Chewie though is one of those ones where it's like, it's the only reason Vandor Chewie is good is because of his unique that just straight up reduces incoming damage, which helps a ton. But outside of that, it's like if you've got Tarful, Zalbar, Vandor, and you really do need OG Chewbacca with that team though, because that tenacity down is like your life saving bread and butter
And
for
I use
getting the
him.
dots on.
Is OG
I don't use
is OG
CLS.
Chewbacca like Clone Wars Chewie or Chewbacca?
Well, the Chewbacca,
Chewbacca.
the only one that's called Chewbacca.
Okay. Well, when you say
Just
OG,
Chewbacca.
I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
the OG
Sure, that is Clone
Chewbacca
Wars.
is Clone Wars Chewie.
No. The OG, the original
gangster
was Chewbacca, and then we got Clone Wars Chewbacca later in the saga, even though he's canonically younger.
Yeah,
and
but I
would
meant
be
in the game.
But in terms of the game,
Yeah.
Clone
Well,
Wars
yeah,
first.
still-
We didn't get Chewbacca
that's
for
true.
years.
True.
In fact, I
My bad.
think with
I'm
the
thinking
10-year
of the lore.
anniversary, I think Clone Wars Chewbacca should get like an amazing Omicron for the 10-year.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just think it would be just
Can-
beautiful.
Can
But
we get
It
an
should be for
Omicron
3v3
that
only,
makes-
obviously.
No,
'Cause,
3v3 only, but
Three
it's
shots of Clone Wars Chewbacca. So.
it's under Padme lead. So
Oh
like
yes,
the-
I'm
That's
sold.
fine.
I'm on
That's
board.
great.
I'm on board.
That's great.
like give me because it actually like really worked at the time when you could do it. If you were when it was still a thing, you could do it because he was such a slow character. You could build up enough protection protection up to then nuke somebody with the basic. But
Now, are we talking about an all GR team though? Are we going to cut out Gidme totally? Are we saying Padme, Clone Wars Chewie, and like I don't know, Ahsoka, or Snips, or somebody else? It doesn't matter, Shakti. Or are we saying you can still use Gidme there?
well, I mean,
In this
They could
hypothetical
replicate the
team that doesn't
Gidme
exist
effect
yet.
to a degree on the Omicron, but mine would definitely be like courage.
Well, Gidme-
Whenever you
Gidme
use
gets
courage,
killed.
it reapplies to the team. So once you get to 20 stacks,
no,
you've permanently got 20 stacks of
no.
courage.
Courage is no longer consumed. That's what it needs to stay.
Oh my god, that would be.
But courage can only be consumed on your turn. Like
that would
you
be
no
evil.
longer lose courage stacks, but you can only use courage on your turn. So you can't counterattack and like wail on somebody.
Oh,
but
that would still be
they-
hilarious though.
But like at 20 stacks, they would just be like boop 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 boop.
Yeah, give me
Goodbye.
a really silly team that'll work on offense because I love when they do those really silly, like ridiculous things like
Dude,
Zalbar's Omicron. Like
yeah,
it's so
Zalbar's-
much fun.
That Zalbar Omicron is so like fun flavor for the game. Like it was a good ad for them, and I'm grateful that they did put that in, and they made Zalbar just an absolute monster in GAC now with on any team because of that pre-taunt never goes away taunt. Is incredibly helpful. That and he will strip taunt to focus the taunt on himself too. So it's actually kind of a fun one to plug and play with on certain lineups. But anyways,
I
besides
had him
the
at
point,
R8 anyway for platoons, so I was
Yeah.
super. I've gotten really lucky with platoons over the years where I take up the crap character, and then something comes out for them. Like I had Dengar, and boom, now I get punishing one. I had Zalbar, boom, we got the Omicron. I had Malik, and I know Malik is not a bad R9 at all, but it was a character that most people kept at 7-8 at the time that I did it, and then we got Leviathan. So I'm not complaining. I'll take any crap character up and gamble on it.
I like taking tanks to R9 forever and always. I'm almost through them all too. I'm actually.
I was
going to
say, do you actually have any left to take up? I mean,
I do. I do. I think all my tanks are R8 presently. Because I know I finished all my crew members to R8 a little while ago.
Nice.
But there's just always going to be a benefit to some of those ones, and then it just gives you a little bit more roster depth when you're messing around. But I'm hopeful we get something interesting with the Horizon content, what's coming out new shortly that gives us something to kind of run with.
Well, being in the dark about what new events are coming is still a little frustrating, but hopefully we'll see a little bit about that in the near future. The very near future, I hope so.
Do you think we're going to get that before the end of the year, or do you think that we're not going to? Just an announcement. I don't mean
announcement.
mode.
I think we get soon. I think we get announcement relatively soon because, like, I think it'll come with Relic Delta being wrapped up and introduced because we're going to get Relic Delta announcement. How do we get Relic 10? And I imagine getting Relic 10 is going to largely be tied to new events and stuff like that, as well as obviously being in the scavenger node. So I feel like those things, I feel like it's all connected. And from what we can gather, based on what CG has said about, where Relic Delta testing is right now, it's relatively imminent that at least announcements are going to be made on it pretty soon.
Yeah. I think with Relic Delta, where it lands for release is probably going to be, let's see. GAC starts Monday. So week 1, week 2, week 3. My guess is that I would not be surprised if it shows up, if it goes live in game after the next season is over, or
the whole season.
No, well, it's one of two things. Either the only thing that sucks though is that they have to carefully time it to either the update has to launch between weeks, or it needs to be after the season's concluded, because it cannot go live mid match at all.
But now, I think that you can take the update and say, hey, the update is live, but we're not switching it on for GAC until after the week.
That's a possibility.
Of the cycle.
Because I mean, they said they're not turning it on for Conquest, so they can clearly choose what game modes to activate it for, at least to a
because my
degree.
thought is maybe not next patch, but my thought is within the next 2 patches we're getting Relic Delta to give them a little bit of time before their holiday break, right? Because we have once mid-December hits, they're like, well, good luck guys, have fun.
Yeah, I would see you next year.
I would be surprised if it didn't ship with the next week's update. Not next week, the following week, sorry.
The next update, you mean?
Mid-November, 2 weeks out. Yeah.
That's my thought too. But 2 patches as a maximum.
I can't see them pushing it too much further out. But like you said, that might make the most sense is if they push it out into the game. Hey, it's available in the PvE environment. We're turning it off in GAC until either the round
to the week
week is over or the season's over, which way they want to go with that. It gives them some flexibility. It's often Conquest until the Stranger concludes, that kind of stuff. And then we get a chance to kind of play with it and mess around here and there, Squad Arena, get acclimated a little bit to kind of see how things work, and then go from there. I could see that happening, but I do not think that they hold off on the major announcement until past the anniversary. They're going to do a massive thing for the anniversary, in my opinion. They're going to try to get as much good information out with Relic Delta coming at the same time of Relic Delta's here, yay! But look at this, all the cool stuff you're going to get, all the packs that are coming out, all the new event that's going to be coming, the economy changes. Look at all this stuff over here.
Yeah,
don't look too hard at Relic Delta right now.
Pay no attention to the Relic Delta behind the curtain.
By the way, here's the shit sandwich for you. And it's like they've said in chat, we've got Zuckus coming in 2 days, and once Zuckus is in the game, that's the end of the projected marquees for now. We've still got another 2 weeks left of this era per se, but we should be hearing about what's coming up next, because they're not going to, I assume they're not going to just disappear and not do any more marquees for the rest of the year. We've still got a month and a bit left before they disappear for their vacation at Christmas time. Something's coming. Something's definitely coming.
So technically, by their era cadence, we're supposed to have one more episode before the bonus holiday episode.
Yeah.
And we assumed this was going to be a 3-episode era, and it wasn't. So we have this missing piece of the puzzle that we're we don't know what they're doing there.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a bit peculiar, this particular cadence. How it's just by the way, we're just going to give you 4 characters, or 2 ships, 2 characters, and then you don't know what's coming, which is just, it feels really weird, especially given the characters, just apart from the fact that Zuckus and Forlorn are kind of a couple, as it were. There was no real synergy this era. It was all just kind of, hey, have some stuff. And that's not necessarily
it was really nice. It was so nice to be able to play catch up a little bit, because you had a month of just ships, right? And most of us who have been playing a long time, you're like, great, I don't have to relic anything. I have a month that I can either save materials or I can do my passion project.
Yep.
And then, you have the bounty hunters who may or may not be part of a bigger thing because we still have a holiday era coming up. So there's a lot of time in here for people to get other things done. And that's really great when we've had the cadence that we've had for as long as we've had it. And then players have felt kind of like frustrated by how quickly things have been coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that like, besides the era battle, Forlom and Zuckuss are going to be totally skippable characters for every single
100%
mid-game, early game player. There's no real reason for them. The team they're putting together is interesting, but I mean, it's probably going to get parted out like the Night Sisters was. Like, well, what we're planning on is Zuckuss, Forlom, Aura Singh, Cad Bane, and Zam.
I think
is the
Zam.
team we're is a team we're planning on putting together. But it's like, what is it really gonna do? It's not really punching up a hell of a lot in most respects, and so I don't know if you're really going to get anything meaningful out of it as a mid game or early game account. You might find some unique ways to, I'm sure Fatal will find a unique way to get a fast contract and delete somebody very quickly. And then
some of the clever boffins will figure some shit out.
Yeah, we'll figure some stuff out. There'll be a team that you can use them for, like with Boba Fett, Son of Django, and TW. You could probably find some creative ways to get with that. Him being a tank and a scoundrel and Darkseid, you could kind of in theory slot him under Afra, and then Forlom is a droid, so that gives them some synergy there. So there's a few places you can kind of plug and play the two. But as a meta-defining shift in marquee characters, they're not really doing much of anything. So it's also for a lot of people, if you don't really give a shit about the era battles, you can kind of skip over this entire episode and really not be any worse for wear than just going through and hoarding materials while we wait for Relic Delta to come along.
Yeah.
So the opposite part of that on the era battles is that this is a nice one with only 2 characters, where if you are a whale or if you have a ton of spare crystals, you know exactly what's coming. And no, I know he's a free to play. He's a scrub. I understand that.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to spend money. We all look down on him. I get it.
Yeah. But every so often we have to kick him $5 here or there, just to,
I appreciate it though.
Yeah. For those of us that can get our McDonald's coffee and avocado toast every day, right? Like you can choose to get those 2 characters and you'll be resource positive on the most important pieces of that. By the time that second character comes out, you'll get 40 out of 40 material, you're getting 50 back. So it's kind of a no-brainer from a resource perspective if you're somebody who is willing to invest those crystals.
Yeah.
Not you, but other people.
Well, obviously.
I mean,
but we're
honestly,
using
the only reason I didn't R9 Forlom this week was because you couldn't win. You could physically not win tier. Well,
tier 4 was impossible. From
tier 4 was impossible. Tier 3 was like if RNG went heavily your way, and you had you were willing to spend the 2 hours. It was the same thing when the clone one came out. It was like until the 3rd clone came out, I was like, no, I'm not going to spend 4 hours for some droid brain. And that's if I get lucky.
Yeah. And that's exactly why I didn't. I took mine to R8 because my default right now is every new marquee goes to R8. I'm just going to do it and keep as on top of every single new release I can. And if it was possible to actually beat the final tiers at R9, I would have done R9 already. So I'll invest in Zuckuss as well. But I mean, it was like Egg was saying earlier. It's been really nice this era, especially because those 2 ships that they released, Rogue One and the other one that's not Rogue One, the B-Wing, those 2 ships were really good, and you could leave them at 3 stars. So it's like...
Yeah, that annoyed the hell out of me. I'm sorry. It did.
Well, Rogue One...
God damn it, how dare they do stuff?
Rogue One kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, Rogue One is so powerful. Rogue One was the biggest favor to every Profundity owner on the freaking world.
Yes.
By just being like, hey...
I'm a massive hypocrite.
You guys want to do infinitely better? Just put this in the back line.
I will freely admit that I am a massive fucking hypocrite because I love the Rogue One, but I love the Rogue One only because it fucks up the Punishing One. In essence, it is just as bad as the Punishing One in every single way.
It restores the meta, though. It restores now Profundity goes back to beating the Executor consistently,
which is all I wanted.
Which is what everybody wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with it was, and now I say this from a place of like a little bit of angst, right? Because I don't normally take things to 7 stars right away. And this was one where I said, hey, this ship is going to fuck. I need to get it to 7 stars. And I invested the 25,000 crystals. And I was like, this is great. I got this 7-star ship. Maybe 3 days later, I asked a friend of mine, hey, can you do me a favor? Don't even call it in with your 4-star Executor and try to beat a Profundity, or your 4-star Profundity and try to beat an Executor. And he's like, yeah, I didn't even call it in. I didn't even bother with reinforcements. It does everything it needs to do on the bench. It doesn't need to have stars at all. And it kind of annoyed me because I felt like it was lazy to say, yeah, I don't know, just this thing at, marquee levels. And I don't think it's great game design. And I've given CG a lot of credit over the last year. I love a lot of the things that they've been doing. And I think that a lot of what they've been doing have been positive changes to the game. But Rogue One itself, I felt was just lazy. And I feel like I'm out 25,000 crystals for nothing. And I'll get them back. I mean, I have a 14 million account. I know it's a first world problem, but I don't know, I'm very annoyed by it.
Whereas I was very happy. Because it meant, you didn't have to whale on it. Didn't have to spend, I didn't spend no signal data, didn't spend
equally,
armies.
That's how everyone felt a year ago when the Punishing One dropped and was just obliterating Profundity fleets left, right, and center. Yeah. So it's like everyone's just getting their licks in. It's just we're just cycling them about a year apart. Yeah. Now the only thing that I find funny is that the Executor still fairly reliably beats the Leviathan, which is hysterical for me. I'm like, well, all right, well, it's not great banners, but I guess I'll leave Leviathan and Profundity on defense, and I'll go take Executor on offense. And
the Profundity is also a pretty reliable counter to Leviathan. Like, there's still RNG involved, but that still works as well. It's kind of weird.
It still does, yeah. The one I find funny is the OG Rebel fleet versus the Profundity.
The new home one.
Yeah, the home one versus Profundity.
I take all my GL ships on offense because I don't want to give Bit Dynasty any more of my ad revenue watching his fleet counters.
I'm like, GAC stream, let's pause for a minute. We just need to take 5 minutes to watch Bit Dynasty's video because I can't. And the ironic thing for me is I also have videos up on YouTube on counters for fleets. I can't even fucking remember them. I'm like, what did I do again? Let's watch Bit Dynasty.
I don't even watch my own videos. I go to Bit Dynasty.
Exactly.
I had to go through and do some oddball ones before because I've there is a counter right now with Holdo versus versus Profundity. That's like an 80% win rate, but it literally comes down to how does the AoE go after you reinforce with
the comeuppance?
The comeuppance, yeah.
The comeuppance.
Like so if it goes poorly, then you're gonna lose. It's easily cleaned up, but you're gonna lose. But like for me right now, like my whole strategy shifting to be going back to being a dick on defense. It's just like, nah. You either if you leave me anything good, I'll clear it. If you leave me anything shitty, I'll still get equally as good banners as you're gonna get clearing my fleet. So we'll call it a day. That's where I feel like things are headed back to again.
I just don't want the headache. I'm just going to take all my meta fleets for offense. I'm like, fuck this. I'll try and win on the ground.
if I get there, I'm good.
If Executor was any kind of clean, like Executor is such a shitty fleet for banner efficiency, though. Like it is so easy to like drop 5 to 8 banners in a Executor battle, even against like Malevolence. Just like one bad mass assist, just like, well, there goes the ship. Or you one extra turn, Malevolence gets the AoE and hits all your protection down.
Just like when Profundity just refuses to assist, like melts. No, I'm not.
My GAC
I'm not doing it today.
Yeah.
You want me to strip taunt? Fuck that.
Yeah, no. Just let the battle drag out a couple extra turns, okay? You needed that 76, but we're giving you a 72.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, really? Not a 69? Because that's usually how it goes with me.
Yeah, there's that too.
It's like,
There's
you're shit. Well, then, congratulations. Yeah. Speaking of, there's been quite a bit of discussion inside of my Discord recently. Some people seem pretty adamant that we are never getting a meta fleet to supplant the Leviathan. I personally think that's horseshit. But what do you guys think?
I agree.
All right. Yeah, go ahead. I will talk last.
Oh,
Go for
I was gonna say I agree. I don't agree. I think we'll get one. I think the problem is that they are trying to figure out the design space for the next one, because the problem they've had persistently is they release these new meta fleets, and the older like Malevolence, Negotiator, Empire fleets are able to counter them. And when you release these meta fleets, you want them to be have a very narrow counter list, and so they're trying to get a design space that basically doesn't says nothing works besides a mirror match, but at the same time, doesn't completely just get run over by Empire or Rebels or whatever ends up being the counter. So I think that's kind of the unfortunate part of where things sit right now, is that you're in a very narrow design space to bring in a brand new fleet that's going to have a meaningful impact without just chaos ensuing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think similarly, but I think it has more to do with the ship escalation, where we went from like Holdo, right, where it's like, all right, you destroy the capital ship, but also yours is destroyed, to now the capital ship is destroyed, to now the capital ship is destroyed and you have damage immunity for a while. And now it's, no, actually you're taking over the enemy's capital ship. And I feel like they've just run out to a place where they're like, well, what do we do next that'll actually work and be interesting? And I think they're using this time now to give everything a lifter, but also to make it so that every fleet is usable. I don't mean every fleet has 5 ships. I mean, every fleet is actually situationally usable. And that's what we're seeing with Home 1 right now. But the two other things that we haven't seen yet is you're either using Negotiator or Endurance. You can't use both. You're either using Executrix or Chimera. You can't really use both. You could try. You can do like an Underman and maybe it'll work against lower tier shit. But I think that they want to use the next year or two to kind of make everything where we have a lot of like B+ ships that'll do different things before we kind of move on from the Leviathan.
Well, I think what they need to exactly your point, what they need to do is they need to set up the remaining fleets to have enough punching power to be able to 2-tap meta fleets. Like you should be able to go in with goddamn, what is that stupid resistance fleet called?
What is Holdo? The Radis.
The Radis, yeah. Sorry, blanking like a motherfucker.
Old.
But like you should be able to go with the Radis and then piece apart a fleet enough to where you can clean up with Finalizer or a whatever that comes out kind of after that play. And so I feel like that's kind of a place where they need to go with the game, is that these lower tier, they need to have enough firepower to knock out critical elements and not get stonewalled in the opening barrage. But they need to they need to move up, because if you just go to the point where if your one Leviathan counter fails and now you have nothing left to throw at it, well then you can't clear. And so the fleet needs to have more oomph behind it, that it's not going to hold as much and permanent. See, like the zone won't fall, but you need to be able to go in and go, okay, if we're not going to add more fleets to the fleet zone, then I should be able to take the 6 fleets that I have and be able to beat the 3 fleets that you send on defense at the worst of it.
Even with 2 shots.
Yeah. So
I think that's a reasonable thing to have. I think that's a reasonable request. But personally, just to throw my opinion into it, I know I said I think it's horseshit. The argument that I've seen in my Discord has been they wouldn't have buffed the Leviathan continually if they're releasing a new ship that's going to supplant it. And I just think it's a case of, well, they want to maintain the current meta. Leviathan is still the most expensive ship to get. They want it to be the best ship, but that's only true until they release the next meta ship, because they're not going to release a new fleet. And it's like, say it's got 3 Relic 9 requirements, because there's always requirement creep in these things, almost always anyway. So instead of 2 Relic 9s, it's 3 Relic 9s. Maybe there's a Conquest ship, maybe there isn't, who knows. And then it comes out and it doesn't beat Leviathan. Like, who's going to get that fleet? I mean, obviously endgame players will get it because what else are you going to do, right? Like, you're just going to get everything. But when people make that choice of, hey, do I go and push for Leviathan or whatever the fuck is the new fleet that they release, and you're like, well, it doesn't do anything better. It's easier for me to get Leviathan. I'll get Leviathan and be just as good, right? So whatever new fleet they release either has to be the top of the meta, or it has to provide value elsewhere that you can't get without it. So maybe there's like a recurring assault battle that requires that fleet that gives you really good rewards. Or it's required as a requirement for an EGL.
It has a unique that says if you use this in TB, you automatically win the fleet
Geonosis battle. Can we just how many years has it been at this point, and that battle is not consistently beaten yet? Like, I know it's beatable. It's
ridiculous. Yeah.
But like, we're at the point where not even, so I know like top guilds don't even need to bother doing it. Even my guild doesn't have to bother doing that anymore. And it's kind of ridiculous.
That is 100% the reason why they haven't fixed it.
Yeah.
They're like,
we'll just skip it with GP,
but really, that's what's going on, though, is that for most guilds, either they're preloading it anyways, and it's not going to matter, or they have so much GP that they're blowing right past it, and it doesn't matter. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's an annoyance that I can't get the CM every time, and I wanted it, because every once in a while I'll do like, how many max CM runs can I get in a TV, and it annoys me that I'm losing those ones because of just an RNG. Well, either you get it or you don't run, and then from there you kind of can throw on the towel on your max runs. But anyways, I think that's exactly why they're not doing anything about it right now. Is that it's not a big enough of a linchpin of a problem that it's causing people to like not get a star on that planet consistently. I think once you get to a certain GP size, it doesn't matter. And if you're below that GP size, typically Geonosis ends up being the planet that you end up preloading more often than not anyways, because the middle planets are much more valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like, so what was the new unique that they gave to the Leviathan? Not the unique, they added to it, right, for the negotiator. Do you remember what
attacks out of turn if the enemy is a light side capital ship?
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not just add Malevolence to that? Malevolence can't beat it anyway. And that solves that problem right there. Malevolence literally is not beating Leviathan. It's not doing jack shit to Leviathan. Throw that in there, and now you can beat the Geonosis fleet, most likely. We've solved the problem. Congratulations, guys. We can all go home.
I mean, or just go in and retune the fight to not be so dog shit.
To not be so shit.
Yeah,
it is horrendous.
Just get rid of it. Like it doesn't even need to be like. It doesn't need to be that crazy, and whatever. It is what it is. But
I think for me, it's just like the difficulty spike is just unreasonable. It's like you could do the ground battles and you're just like, this is fine. This is easy. And then you go into the fleet and they're like, fuck you. Like, oh shit.
The Hoth fleet battle, right? The phase 6 fleet battle, you can auto.
Yeah.
The phase 2, it's like, fuck you. You might win 20% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I don't understand the thinking behind it. It seemed really unnecessary. I genuinely thought that when we were getting Leviathan would be the solution. And it just isn't.
We all did.
Like, it was just like, okay. So what are we waiting for here, CJ?
Do you know how you distract from Relic Delta? Think about it. Think about it.
Blowjobs for everyone.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah. We solved it again, guys.
Yeah.
Right.
We all go quiet.
Yeah.
So how do you distract from Relic Delta? Apart from blowjobs, obviously.
Yeah.
You just solve that battle. Then everyone goes, yay, wow, CG, they win.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where like it's weird how TB has that dynamic shift of like the first 3 phases CMs, like what the points they add aren't as meaningful towards the back half where they're just like ludicrous. I think what CG really needs to do, though, to a degree, is if you want players to get better, like bump up their star performance, to be able to get through phases more consistently, is go back to like the earlier planets and have missions give out that absurd points, like the Jedi Knight Cal Kestis and the Bo Katan Mando mission that gives out like 3 times the CM points than the average bear does. That would kind of give some investment for like having certain teams or whatever back in the mix. But either which way, I think Relic Delta, when it comes to TB, for most people, when you're punching down, you're going to crush the early level CMs, and then you're not going to notice a damn thing difference on the later planets because it'll be
guaranteed. Well, I mean,
that's the problem, I think.
For people like us, like phase 1 is probably just like, let's do the middle SM and deploy. And that's it.
Yes. But even back in the day, even when Rise of the Empire first came out and my roster was majority lower than R5 and I was building towards those things, phase 1 is, if you know the teams, is relatively autoable, even with like 5 characters. I do think, of course, yes, if you have some Relic 8s that are maybe niche or not as cohesive, you'll be able to throw more just shit at the wall of your requirement characters. Maybe if you're someone that is preloading heavily and you're doing phase 2 but also phase 4, whatever, sure, that'll be fine. But I think for the most part, you're not going to see too much of a change in TB, because if you're doing phase 1 consistently, you probably don't have a ton of higher relic requirement teams anyway. And by the time you get to where it matters, the Relic Delta is 1 or 2, right? But the Relic Delta changes now are so small at the lower end, which is why I have advocated for there should be PvP and PvE numbers, just so that there's more interesting stuff. Like there's a player-friendly portion of this that actually we can get behind and get excited about, because TB Day 4 fucking blows. Right, 5 Planet Day is the fucking worst. It is the worst fucking. I've said that I want to quit the game every time Day 4 comes around.
You know, just be a terrible guildie and don't do any of the CMs. And then it's okay.
TB officer, don't engage.
Yeah. Hey guys, you're out. Fuck TB. Just
to be honest, though, it's like TB is a hard one for me to focus on, because from what they've stated, it seems like all the other much more like impactful reward areas for like individual players is what is going to get easier. So like the proving grounds gets easier, assault battles is going to get easier to a degree. A lot of this other content is going to be easier with Relic Delta, because at R7 punching down into like R3, you're going to dominate most of that stuff without having to worry about remodding or insane strategy or RNG, So I think the benefits on the individual account, where their PvE is going to sit right now, is probably overall a net positive for a lot of players, where it's like, doing the Inquisitor missions. And now if they move the assault battle to R3 at the top tier, then you're going to be able to more easily smoke that, because you're going to do so much more damage. You're not going to get stuck on wave 4 for 35 minutes and then have it all go to shit when they accidentally kill, GMY or Shak T inadvertently. There are going to be fights where it'll get better. TB is just one of the ones where I'm like, the only way that they really improve TB is if they literally just like,
please say sim button. Please say sim button.
Yeah, like something like that. Like that's the only way I can see it being like, hey, if you guys meet these checks, if you had, for the last like 3 TWs, you had 40% or like let's say 80% completion rate on all your CMs, and that would automatically get you like the zone max, is like just sim it and be done.
I have a whole slideshow and video on that and how they can do it. I do. Of course I do. Right? On how they can do it and what the specifics of it should be. So for those things, because what people don't understand, I auto 95% of TB and I do good waves. I don't do waves in day one because nobody at our level should, right? Because it's a waste of our time.
Yeah.
But I still get about like 115, 120 waves ignoring P1. 95% of it is on auto. But what people understand is that's still time that my phone is being used. That's still time that I have to look at it every 2-3 minutes to see if it's done and I have to refresh. Like it's still an hour to an hour and a half of my time. Like stop taking that fucking time from me.
Yeah, that's the only
give us an
part.
8 times speed for TB.
Oh my God. Just for TB. I don't care. Just TB.
But I mean, I'm perfectly like my perspective is like if like Carl says, you hit certain thresholds, and then you could sim TB planets and all that sort of shit. That'd be fine. But I'm personally okay with you can sim anything apart from the special missions, and you still have to do those. Like I'm okay with that.
Part of what I had said too. Yeah.
So if you got to play the Mandalore unlock, you got to play Zepho unlock. If you want to earn Reaver shards, you got to play that mission. If you want to earn the Get 2 and all that sort of shit, I'm okay with that. That's a lot more manageable than, let's go do 20 battles today. Like,
yes.
I know 20 battles.
Slides on slides. You have videos on everything. I have slideshows on everything. I'm stuck in 1999.
They had to find some way to make TB less of a time constraint. It's fine
especially with a new game mode coming up, right? Like,
well, it's fine when you're looking at it from the perspective of how it originally launched, where 3 planets a day was equivocally the same, but with player guilds trying to max the amount of stars they can get and trying to max the amount of rewards you can get, you do have multiple days where you wind up with 4 to 5 planets all at the same time, all needing their CMs done. When you've got Zepho and then the 3 normal planets and Mandalore all in the same day, that's a lot to get through. But the issue is, for a lot of it, is that there's no way around it, right? You can't just ignore things and ignore the rewards, because the rewards you get from doing Zepho and Mandalore, that's better than, like 5 stars increase in rating for the most part, right? Like it's the number of Kairos and get currency and the 2 stars you get on that as well. Yep. And so it's like they would need to retool a little bit on how you progress TB. That, or they need to just make stuff in TB that makes the grind worth the effort again. Like, I would be okay with the effort if there was an equivalent reward. But like, after I got Riva unlocked, this TB has been like, you want me to do how many R9s for 1 more star?
Yeah.
Can I take you out to the tool shed and show you where you can get bent? Because this ain't gonna fly for me. Like, I don't care enough right now to fight anybody on it. But like, when I was in MC3 and we were doing it, like 37 stars was fine. Like, we didn't really care. The amount of relic investment that you had to go to like 41 stars was just like, hey, does everyone want to give up a bunch of freaking relic currency for basically like 2 impulse detectors and 75 crystals? And it's like,
if the game runs for another 10 years and they don't release a new TB, that you might eventually make some of that investment back. And that's good, right?
They should just, what they need to do is just add more interest back in the zone. Give us another TB character. Give us TB rewards that are around the effort put into certain things. I think if they made honest to God, I think they should put a personalized reward track in fucking every game mode.
Yeah,
like,
that'd be sick.
That would be,
Like,
well, I don't have to do day 1 of TB again. I don't want to do day 1 of TB again.
But you're getting rewarded for it. That's all I'm saying. I
agree with you in theory.
Yeah,
but I don't like the idea of more.
Yeah. No. But what I'm saying though is like if you're gonna make me put effort in, reward me for the effort. And you may not have to do day 1 again. You might still be like, it's like, get 100 waves done in TB and you get a little prize box.
And that's fair. But I do agree with the theory behind that. Is I do put in a lot of effort in my TB, and then I look at the bottom of my guild and I go, oh, I have 120 waves plus P1, and you have 50, and we're a 670 million guild, and nobody should be putting in 50. How you don't have a roster. Everybody in here is 13 to 14 million.
Yeah, I have no idea how many waves I do, but it's probably around there. I just fucking hate.
I think it was 115. I did 0 for phase 6.
Yeah,
because I woke up this morning and I saw that we were already at our start goal, and I'm like, F this. I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
I've done my due diligence. I'm passing on this one.
Yeah. So I'll actually have to check next time. I like the thing is there's some elements of TB that I actually really enjoy, but it's those battles that are actually really kind of cool, like the Reek and the Nexu and the Acklay missions. Those are actually different battles instead of, hey, here are some standard units that we've tuned the fuck out of, made them super tanky, or they hit really fucking hard, and it's like, go fight this for about 15 minutes, and you're like,
or they have an insane mechanic that they just like, oh yeah, they get every time you debuff them, then they get 20% bonus protection, and then
oh my god,
they're so tanky
5 times.
Yeah, and they're so tanky that odds are most of your attackers aren't going to do enough damage to chip away the bonus protection in between the debuffs going up.
Is it fucking Ring of Kafrene? And you're like, I'll take in my JML, and they'll mass assist him, and you'll practically die. You're like, oh, well, that
who does
me, I guess.
Really great on Ring of Kafrene?
What?
Gungans.
Jedi Master Mace.
But I'm not running my full Gungans. That's not
Gungans on auto.
I love my Gungans. I don't love my Gungans that much. I'm sorry, Calvin.
Yeah, but go ahead.
So I love when we see like the really cool battles, and not to segue away from this because I think it does pertain to TB, but using something else as an example. I love like a unique battle, but like take Hondo's GL journey, right? Very funny. Every battle we unlock, you're like, oh, this is hilarious. But now you start doing the same battle over again. That takes kind of a long a time, and you have to do this battle 8 times, this battle 5 times, this battle 6 times, and you kind of just get to a point where you go, all right, this was funny the first time I saw it, but now that I've been doing TB for 3 years, I'm not interested in this battle anymore. It's the same battle I've played for 3 years in a row, so I've done it 200 times.
Yeah.
And this is why I think that what CG should be doing is when they release new planets, is we should actually have branching paths on planets. So when you unlock a bonus planet, it's not a bonus planet, it's an alternative path. So that way they can gradually introduce new content. Yeah. And it changes up the battles. So instead of going to, say, Geonosis, you go to a different planet. You can still earn max stars, but maybe it's got a character unlock on there as well. And it will require you to invest in new teams and new units and shit like that. Yeah. But it doesn't add to the total number of battles that you have to do for TB. I think that would be a fun way of keeping it fresh. That's
what I had talked about a month or so ago. It's like you need to be able to. They need to add planets that when you select one, and then you ignore the other one. So it's like you, instead of let's say. Oh God, I'm trying to think of a random dark side. Let's say Dagobah, right? Let's say instead of Mustafar, we go not Mustafar. Well, yeah, it is Mustafar.
I find it interesting.
No, Malachor.
Malachor planet.
Well, I mean, Dagobah is actually incredibly heavy in the dark side of the Force. That's why you
that's fine. But in terms of characters from the movies we've seen, all light side characters.
No, I know.
I'm just a little bitch.
I'm just throwing out a planet name that I could think of on the top of my head on short notice.
That's fair.
But like, let's say instead of Malachor, you go to Dagobah, and then it's like, it's different platoon requirements, it's different things, but there's different rewards, and there's a reason to go there. But if you go to Dagobah, you don't get to go to Malachor anymore, and then you
Ultra Hermit Yoda,
and then that still takes you to the Death Star as the final Phase 6 planet, but
it's the Seagulls stop it now, Hermit Yoda.
Yeah.
Seagulls.
But
Yoda.
I mean, that would be great for me because it allows you to have a little bit more player choice, because then you can kind of go back and forth and add some variety to every TB by deciding what you want to work on, and it gives you time to adapt those new platoon requirements. I would be okay with that. Honest to God, my bare minimum for TB in the year of our Lord 2026 is, can we get a new character?
Oh, please.
To farm in TB. Because I'm so bored of just like, well, hey, there's Reva mission, and I'm just gonna ignore it again for the 1200th time because I maxed her, 2.5 years ago, and now I don't need it. Like, can we get anything else in this Rise of the Empire? Can we get a new Empire character, a new Imperial trooper, can we get the Purge trooper? Like something besides
this would be This would be a great way to have a secondary path, right? Where you say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm going to Malachor or Dagobah," and you go, "Well, I'm going to Dagobah this time because I want to unlock that extra character."
Yeah.
Right. And then after you unlock that character, you can say, well, I prefer these missions or I prefer those missions. Right.
Yeah.
Like I want to do these ones or I want to do that one. These ones are easier. So after we get the character, we're going to go to the easier planet, and it doesn't change the path. I don't hate the idea.
Yeah.
No.
Definitely.
But,
I think it'd be fun. Keep it fresh.
And not to totally like. Go ahead.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I was just wondering if they could even do temporary planets, seasonal events. That's just like, oh, for the next 2 months, we've only got this new planet will be here, and then it will disappear.
The only way that the player base wouldn't immediately riot with that mentality is that the
Rotate
ops would have to be the exact same as the planet that shares its same path, right? So if you're going to swap out Kashyyyk for name a light side planet,
Dagobah.
then then the ops on the new planet need to be the same as the one on Kashyyyk if it's gonna only be there for like the next 2 months kind of thing, because otherwise that would be a real dick move to be like, yeah, by the way, whole new list of like all the new marquees at Relic 7 require. You're just like,
the way they could introduce it as well is they could introduce it as the world between worlds.
They could. They could.
Like it could be like, and then what they could do with that is they could actually scale it and they could apply it to any phase that they want. So they could say, this month we've got a World Between Worlds event and it's on, the equivalent of phase 1, so the first tier of planets, or it's on phase 2. And then it just scales in relic difficulty. And then obviously the stats that will inflate alongside that. That'd be kind of cool. But hey, I digress. I digress talking about weird TB wrote shit. So fun times.
I digress too, but I think we should probably dive on the grenade of Tribe Talks questions a little earlier today, unless you vehemently oppose it, because that list is getting long.
How dare people have questions?
It is a lot. Like, it is the most we've seen in a fat minute. I think Agnard spurred everybody to show up and ask a bunch of dumb questions. So
we're not getting Agnards on the show again. Fucking hell.
Yeah, screw me.
Jesus Christ.
By the way, go follow me on Twitch, BigBoat777.
Jumbo69.
Twitch.com/BigBoat777.
Yeah, the fact that I have to scroll to get through the Tribe Talks questions section tells you that we are at a brand new level of a lot of questions.
Oh, okay,
but I think if for how easily we kind of go in the weeds on every single one, I figured we might want to increase our time.
Okay, that's fine. We can do that. We can, unless Egg, is there a topic of discussion you want to have before we jump on Tribe Talks questions?
Yeah, I do. This came up a couple times over the last week. So my question to you is, when we talk about the PlayStation era, Final Fantasy 7, 8, or 9? 8.
Like, that's a no-brainer for me. I know that my choice is basically against everybody's choice, but 8 is my favorite.
Okay. What Karth, do you have one? No?
Never played them.
Final. Oh, okay. So it came up on Zeta Protocol with Pico, and then people on my Discord were very angry with me for saying that 7 is a shit game. I'm a 9 fan, so I wanted to drum some stuff and see where we were at. But that's all I needed. I just, that's surface level. We can go on to questions.
Okay, cool. I thought 9 was phenomenal as well. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy Final Fantasy 7, but I think people what do they call it? When you big something up a little bit too much, they ride its dick a little bit too hard. That's what I feel about it. But hey, it is what it is. Okay,
so Final Fantasy 7 is a cheap dick.
So our first question comes from Jimmy Duck, not Jimmy Dick, Jimmy Duck. He goes, new game mode, ? Could it be land vehicles or a Death Star trench run? I mean, anything's possible.
I hope not.
They've walked back the vehicle.
Yeah. It was like 8 years ago.
Yeah, it was like 2016, 17. They talked about introducing vehicles, and I think I was talking with Tastness about this a couple days ago. But it's basically like the game, the way the game is now. If there's not a vertical progression tied to a new like collection part of the game, so like if they did do vehicles, they would need to basically have a way where they can still do vertical progression in it. And I don't think anybody would like that, because vehicles would come in. They're like, why aren't they like ships? I'm like, well, yeah, because ships, they can't monetize as well. So if they did land vehicles, they would have to be their own like vehicle gear and vehicle relics and other bullshit like that would have to come with it. And I think that's a system that nobody really wants. And then it's their game mode they're going to have to balance and maintain. And until we can, fine tune the ones we've got already, maybe we don't put anything else on the plate.
I think it's one of those things where people, in theory, they go, "This is a great idea," and they don't think about the implications, and they go, if it did come to the game, right? Like you're saying, they'd be like, "Oh, this is not. I thought it was gonna be better." And it's not that it's done wrong. It's just that it's just more of similar. You know what it is? It's pets. We're getting pets. It's happening.
Okay.
Just like
if I can get
game.
Nyx from Star Wars Outlaws.
Wait. Can we have like a mini game where it's like the room of requirement in Hogwarts Legacy, where I just get to go in there and walk around with Star Wars animals?
Yes.
Only if I get Blitzball.
Blitzball's great. Yeah.
Then I could be on board. I would spend way too much time.
Can we get Sabak in the game?
I don't think Spock is coming to the game.
Only
Sabak, not Spock.
No, I know.
But also,
Only
can we get Spock? All right, let's have a Vulcan faction.
If it provides actual gambling mechanics in the game and I can win actual prizes for my character, can I bet my real credits in the game, like my credits in the game,
my US dollar credits.
No, but like the billions of credits that we've got now from all the era battles. Can I go in and like wager like 100 million credits and like walk away with 5 droid brains asking for a friend? Like, if Sabak had some legit prizes,
okay.
And
so how about this? Sabak, everybody has to ante up one 6A mod. Right? Okay. And you can win someone's 6A mod. No, I mean, that would be stupid. People would just have really shit 6A mods that they ante up. But hey, could you imagine
anything
actually
like that? People are going to find a way to abuse, right? They're going to go, "Oh, I have this vault, and I'm going to move up these 6A mods and lose on purpose."
Oh, hell yeah. I would do that. Fuck yeah. I would have like 20 accounts farming mods every day. Just be like, give me some mods that I can lose to myself.
And I barely have time for one account.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I wouldn't mind a mini game, but the last thing I need from this game is a reason to spend more time in it. So,
fair.
No, thank you.
Yeah. The second part of this question from Jimmy says, if relics finally become the bottom, do you think the bottom becomes the bottom? I don't know what that means. Do you think CG will remove all the old node materials? I don't even know what he's trying to say here. Is he trying to say, if they get rid of gear material? Like, if characters just start at relic levels, do you think they'll get rid of all the old gear material nodes? I don't think that's what they're going to do, personally.
Yeah, I would be surprised.
Well, because the announcement did say something about gearing being not taken away, but like
for alternate new characters
I don't remember what the words. Yeah,
they're like, you won't have to worry about gearing your new character releases. I still think you'll have to.
How I took it.
I think it's going to be tied to, like, marquees are now going to give you some means of gearing that character, but you're still going to have to gear historic characters, or if you missed a marquee, you'll still have to gear them afterwards. So I don't think we lose node materials. No.
I think the marquee event will just give some sort of like some iteration of like a lightspeed token where they're going to be like, hey, you got this far, you have the shards to go this far in the marquee event. Now you get a 7-star relic 3, Zuckuss, right?
Which that's great.
That's my interpretation of it, but at the same time, it
doesn't even have to be 7-star though, not anymore.
Well, no.
It could be like 4-star relic 1 and 5-star relic 2, that sort of thing, right?
Sure, yeah, they could still do relics with and they might just do a lightspeed token that is just gear.
Yeah, and if they don't do any of that, can we just get a button when you get a new marquee? You know how like you can take the whole gear level to a gear level if you have it. How about just like take to relics? Oh, you have everything.
Can I just hit the slider?
Yeah.
Like,
can we have a fucking slider, please? Yeah. And for relics too.
Yes,
for
please.
Relics too. I'm sorry, but when you have to take somebody up, I know it doesn't take long. I know it's only like 7 to 8 seconds. We actually timed this and we looked at it and we did it over a bunch of characters to see. And it's not a lot, but when you're taking like 3 or 4 characters to higher relics, which is not unreasonable now,
Yeah.
it's so annoying.
It's just that it's that part where it like charges the relic. You click the button and it goes,
Yeah. And I go, I don't care.
It's like, I'm literally wasting 6 seconds every time I click this button.
Every single time.
And it's such a first world problem, but
It is. It is.
like, it's just annoying.
Squirrel.
Taylor Swift's new song,
Yeah.
Relic Problems. Yep.
Relic problems.
Sure. Okay, cool. So moving on. Also, candidly speaking, if they got rid of certain old nodes and all the gear there, you wouldn't be able to break that down in the Jawa scavenger to get yourself more relic materials and shit like that. So they still need to keep them. Okay, so next question comes from Bubba Joe. Hey, Bubba Joe. He says, "Oh, glorious council of scribe, I come to you in glorious purpose for your knowledge." With CG recently deploying 2 Lifter ships, Rogue One and B-Wing, that Egnard so dearly loves, do you think that we could get some larger, medium-sized ships for fleets, either as an actual ship or maybe as some sort of built-in lifter? Examples could be the Tantive 4 or an Interdictor. Interdictor, is that a thing?
It's an Imperial ship.
Interdictor, I barely know her. Or a Dreadnought, question mark.
I mean, that would be
possible?
a fun way for them to bring in like a dynamic change, but unfortunately, I think it's too far off the beaten path for how they currently work, like for how fleets currently work. That I think adding anything like that would be more like you're going in with a ship to buff something. I think they would be better off just doing things like,
Ship
like a
data
frigate.
codes, yeah.
Well, like a frigate or something like that, where it's just like you just like give us more Fury class or whatever, type ships or Razor Crest. Give us a conquest unit for some of these ships where they kind of lift up the quality of the units. But I don't think we're going to see anything where they're like because like the Negotiator, it has that the Acclimator, not the Acclimator class. She's with the Christ is those little frigates that go with it.
Yes,
underneath it. That's what he's talking about, is adding like that, but having it actually have like a fleet mechanic to it. And it's possible you could do something like that. You could have those for like the next fleet where they intercept destroy effects. So like you could have them be destroyed instead of the capital ship, and then whatever else occurs after that as a way to get around it. But I highly doubt we'll get anything like that in the game. More than likely, we would just keep getting starfighters and small frigates to
more generic X-wings.
Yeah,
U-wings.
Come on, Porkins.
Let's get him, boys.
Red 5, but Rey as the pilot.
Of course,
I mean,
yes, the Ray 5.
As far as I know, Rey is the only pilot of Red 5. So
I mean, canonically, up to date, she is the pilot of the Red 5 now. So I mean,
she was the last one to fly it. That's all I'm saying.
Kick rocks, nerds.
I think it would be great if it does come and Rey is the.
Yes,
I'm pro that because there
please.
Will be anarchy.
I want to see the community outrage. I want to see it. I want
It'll be bigger than Relic. That's how you distract from Relic Delta, because people start to be outraged about Rey 5.
Hey, Meathead, if you're listening, April 1st notes right here.
100. Could you imagine if they fully sent on the troll for that one and actually developed artwork for it and everything? Could you imagine? Yeah.
Oh, no.
It'd have to be GL Ray.
No. Bring it in the entire time. Like the plan is to bring it in and then like last minute change the pilot, but like Red 5 with Rey as the pilot, and you're like just fully commit to it the entire time. Like the ship has resistance tags, and all the kit are all talking about resistance and stuff like that.
Yeah. Or even have it be, you know how like in the early GL Ray and GL Slacker events, you use JTR, but she's got a Ray skin. It could be like you use CLS, but it's got a Ray skin for it. Oh man, that would be funny. That would be some funny shit. I love it. Do it, Meathead, do it. Okay, there's a second part to Bubba Joe's question. He says, how would you like to see these smaller ships come into the game, or do you think they serve no purpose in fleet mechanics? Well, I suppose we kind of answered that a little bit.
Just the way it's currently designed, I don't think they would serve a purpose without introducing a whole new like mechanic to
fleets,
it.
yeah.
I don't think they'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Bubba Joe. Next up is Bodhi from the Hive. Over the past year,
fuck you,
CG
Bodhi.
have... Yeah, fuck you, Bodhi. No, I love you, Bodhi. Over the past year, CG have been releasing characters with a hidden tag, territory_dark_platoon, like Brutus, for example. Do we expect new bonus planets this year? If so, which relic level? The original concept art is below. So, just to quickly address something, it's not a hidden tag. That's just a tag in the game. I know they call them hidden categories because they're not showing on the game, but there's loads of these tags that exist in the game that we don't see in like the user UI, right? I don't think it's them trying to be sneaky. I think they could become part of platoons in the future. As we've seen with bonus planets, you do get new operational units that get thrown in there. So yes, but whether we get one soon, I don't know.
Look at all of those character shards. Makes me sad.
Oh, you mean on the original concept artwork? There's
there's
loads
4
of
other
Vias.
planets besides freaking Tatooine. So sad.
The funny thing is the Reaver planet actually doesn't have a character shard
well,
icon on it.
No, because it's already like finished, so they closed it out.
Oh, I see.
So that
Obviously. Duh.
But also I think it was because they didn't want to like give away that Reva was there. I don't know if she was in I don't think she was a part of the initial announcement of TB. So that was, I think, their intention behind it. But we know for a given fact that a lot of the dark side units have been getting that dark side platoon op, and so odds are that they do have another dark side planet or potentially a mix zone planet that is coming online. My guess it would be dark side because we have Zepho, which is light side, we have Mandalore, which is mixed, and then they've been adding a lot of dark side. I'm assuming we'll get another one. Praying to God it comes with a character to work on.
Yep.
While we're there, I would assume in the Relic 8 territory.
Yeah.
Relic 7 and Relic 8. That's where most of the new stuff kind of gets added into because it's the benefit to the drive players to that more end game relic investment. So that would be my guess.
They've done planets like if you look at Mandalore, that's a Relic 8 planet, but it has an R9 CM on it as well. So they can do mixed levels of difficulties on these new planets. So even if it is, they want to try and make it accessible so people will actually go for it. So yeah, R7, R8 sounds really reasonable.
But
for a new planet.
I'm hoping we get something by the end of the year for a new planet because it's been, Mandalore's been 2 years?
Yeah. No, a year.
It's been a while.
But it has been 2 years. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years.
It's been about 2 years.
It came out with her when Bo came launched.
It can't be soon. And I want it. I do really want it. But the problem is, assuming that we don't know the relic level, right? And assuming it works the same as other planets, it can't be a day 1 planet because there's no way to unlock it. It's probably not a day 3 planet, right? It's probably not a day 4 planet just because we already have those bonuses there. I really don't want a 6-day or 6-planet day.
I mean, it can't
solve the TB problem first. They need to solve the time problem first.
Yeah, it honestly can't. The planet will either be a day 3 or day 4, which I know no one's gonna like that answer. But if it's beyond Relic 8, it's so unreasonable to go for that nobody will engage with it besides the highest end guild.
I mean, and look at it this way: why can't it be a day 1 planet?
Well, it can't. Well, so it can be a day 1 planet, but it can't be a day 1 planet if we use existing patterns. Because there's no way to unlock it. Now, could they just say, you know what, doesn't matter, it's just another planet off on the side? Yes, they can. Right? They absolutely could do that.
What do you mean we can't use anything to unlock it, though?
It means like
it could say it's a day 2 planet.
You couldn't. What he's saying is that you couldn't. The previous 2 planets added have unlocks on Baraka and Tatooine to access Zepho and Mandalore on the next phase. Yeah. So he's like, under the existing structure in which they've added these bonus planets in, it wouldn't work. But they could just swap that planet out for something, or just add that planet to a zone and let it be a branching like you do either or there's tons of ways they could still do it early, like phase 1. They could just add a 4th planet to phase 1 and be like, here's 3 more stars, now you guys actually have to give a shit phase 1 again. That's a possibility.
The other thing they can do is they can say the unlock is on day 1, right, for a day 2 planet, but the day 2 planet is an R8 zone. And now that seems kind of silly, right? Because you're like, whoa, who would go after that? But that gives guilds 5 days if they want to say, you know what, we want to figure out a way to preload this.
I mean,
in the correct way to get what we want.
That's what I was going to say. You can easily still have it unlock day one, like the requirement to unlock
at the
it
end of day one.
And because as soon as you unlock it, as long as you don't star it, you can play it at any phase. And that way they could even have like, say there's 3 combat missions. There could be one that's R6, one that's R7, one that's R8, you know? Like they could have it scaled and maybe there's an unlock, you know, maybe there's a bonus character.
Geonosis has an R7 planet on it too, or R7 CM. I mean, the Geos are required on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like they can still do it that way. And that way
Geo the only...
Sorry, go ahead.
Is Geonosis with the Geos the only base planet that has a multi-relic requirement when it released? Because I know Braca has the 7 SM, but that came out afterwards.
Original planet, yes. It is the only. It is the only original release DB planet that has a CM on it. Yeah, has a CM on it requiring higher than the planet is to play.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, because I know Braca has the Zepho unlock, but that came later.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and Mandalores came with Mandalore, but we're talking when TB.
That's a bonus.
Yeah,
planet.
we're talking about when TB or the original map when it originally came to the.
Because it was just strange when that came out. You were like, "Oh, great! I get to use my Geos if I." Oh no, there are 7.
Dude, even then, you need some good mods on those Geos. Otherwise, Ezra and Kanan will just eat you alive, or you'll spend a year and a half just like slowly chipping them away. It's an awful mission without good modding.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I haven't R7 my Geos because fuck that. Just not doing it.
Me neither.
No, not doing it. Not yet, anyway. Maybe if and when Relic economy changes.
Hey, I have them all at Relic 9.
All right, well, suck my dick, Garth. You know.
I mean, mostly because I wanted to take the Separatist fleet to Relic 9, so that's why I took them. And then GBA's got the summons. Poggle's the only one not at Relic 9. He's at Relic 8.
Oh, okay.
I have a question for you, Scribe, because somebody asked this earlier on your stream and you ignored them, and I think you did it on purpose. I think it was usually I do.
I do it because I hate people. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it was definitely on purpose. So for you, speaking of R9s, when it comes to the Gungans, what will it take to get you to take the Gungans to R9?
Sub goals, like it always does.
Sub goals always, obviously, because I am an honorable man and I'm a man of the people. So if it happens, it happens, right?
How do we make this happen? I want R9.
Okay, so it's actually not that painful for me because Jar Jar is already Relic 9 and the rest are all Relic 8, so it's just 4 R9s, just. But yes, I mean sub goals or
I don't care about pain. I just want I want people to share and bask in the glory of my Gungans.
I don't know what it would take. It would just be sub goals, man. It would be sub goals. Turn up and vote massively for Gungans. When
could I
when
flash you after the stream? Or
yes,
like,
that
you can flash from your credit card deets. That'd get them there, but outside
like,
that, man,
it's maxed out already. Joke's on you.
Slides it over, disable like lock card, just like sucks to be you.
Yeah,
but
that's a good question though. Okay, so Caleb Wheeler says, would Mr. Egg rather eat sour cream or delete 25 of his best mods?
I honestly, so for people who don't know, I hate sour cream and mayo. They're the worst substances in the world. I quite literally cannot stand either of them. I think that they are a bastardization of condiments.
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right before you answer, Egner. I'll tell you right now. He doesn't quantify how much you have to eat.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
Like you could get a toothpick and you could just dip it in sour cream and go.
Saying that, let's just saying that I'm being a good sport and taking like a full spoonful of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I did do sour cream with Rabid Beaver on one of his streams, and I ate like a whole like yogurt cup of it, and it was gross. It was awful. But
I like sour cream, and I wouldn't do that. Oh, that's grim.
If it meant not having to delete 25 of my best mods, I would do it again.
There you go. That's what I figured.
Got to respect the mod game. Yeah, got to respect the mod game.
Well, it'd take you like what 6 to 9 months to replace them. Like, I'll eat that. I'll eat that little yogurt tin of sour cream.
I go to therapy once and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that therapy session of Eggnods and just as like a cup of sour cream. And Eggnods just like, I hate sour cream. I see it every time my eyes close. Anyway, Smasher Bob says, question. Why? I don't know, Bob. Why not?
Yeah, there you go. That's what I've got for that one.
That's
Everyone always asks why. Why not how?
Yeah.
And
How are you? Yeah. So Keanu Reeves says, what do we think the conversion rate for brains is going to be when they send out the update? Droid brains, he means. And why and why is it going to fuck us really hard?
I mean, the conversion rate is going to probably be similar to what Gerda keypads are, unless they revise that. But the better question is, what are they going to allow us to break down? Because there is some gear I've got thousands of that I'm really hopeful for, but I'm also hopeful that they add some more gear to the Gerda keypad breakdown as well, because I would hate to be like, oh, I can have 400 droid brains and I'm still stuck at my Gerda's limiting on what I can do because we didn't adjust that at all. So my guess is that at the worst of it, it's similar to what Gerda keypads are. The better question is what we get to break down, and do they revise what is in Gerda? But either way, I think no one's going to really be like genuinely excited about giving up Gear 12 gear for relic materials. No one's really.
Well, is it going to be? Is it going to be similar to like when? Not when relics came to the game, but even when relics came to the game, but more so like when they did the doubling and all of us kind of had this horde of gear that we kind of shifted over, right? And we said, oh, we're going to deconstruct all of this now so we don't have to deal with it later. And a bunch of players who were big veterans were able to say, I don't have to worry about carbonate circuit boards for 2 years, right? Are we going to get to that point with droid brains? But they know, like, all right, we're going to lure them in with droid brains because they're going to have 500 droid brains, but it doesn't matter because it's a small section of the community that has, let's just say, Chirotech, right? That has that stuff. And R10 is really the new chase, and that requires all new stuff anyway that they're not accessing.
Well, when it comes down to it, they're going to have to make the relic economy improve to R7 drastically, just to get people to baseline better with the relic system, because they'll need to see relic 7 as the baseline engagement level and where you take characters. And so we're going to see this as they progress the system, where they'll like they did already. Relic 8 and Relic 9, you don't require bronzium or carbonate circuit boards anymore. That makes it easier. And then as we keep going up, they'll kind of keep lowering that out. But at the same time,
stuff out.
As somebody who is, I am very relic deep, it's like everything up to electrium conductors, I have thousands of, and I will never, ever need to spend on those in, another 100 characters to get those materials again. But like electrium conductors, it's just the amount you need. The amount you need goes really high. Same with Zimbitals, same with the Relic 8 mats and the Relic 9 mats. So it's like those materials are going to have to scale up as we progress, because if you want to take a meaningful amount up to be competitive, you need more of that material to go with it. And so the hope is that they refine a little bit of the gear that they allow you to use for breaking down on those materials and add some more into it so that you have more options. But that's the biggest thing for a lot of people, is like you need to make Electrium and Zimbitals a little bit easier to get your hands on, and add some more new materials to it. And I think that'll help a lot of people feel more comfortable about taking them to characters to Relic 7, because right now you're throwing so much stuff that you need to Gear 13 characters just for the Relic 7 mats that it's not worth the trade. And so I think those need to go up. If you're trying to push the game to R7 as the baseline for a relic investment, then getting there needs to go up with it.
Yeah, I could spend a half hour talking to you about this, probably more, to be completely honest. So I'm going to shut up unless we want Scribbles to be up until like 3 a.m.
I mean, there is.
I'm okay with.
There is a bit of that
because it's a reasonable time in the day for me.
I mean, I want some beauty sleep tonight, so I think you guys covered it pretty well. Okay, so thank you, Keanu Reeves. Next up is Stars. Stars. Okay, who are you hoping for next year as a galactic legend? And what do you think will be the next big squad added to the game? I don't think anything will be released in December since holidays, but if they do, any clue on what you think it could be? So, next team, next meta team, and next galactic legend, I guess is what we're going through here.
I mean, is it too early for Thrawn this year? Isn't the movie coming out in like February? March, somewhere around that time.
No, that's
Mandalorian and Grogu comes out in May 2026.
Yeah,
I've seen the things.
Yeah, Ahsoka season 2 is coming out before the movie drops. I think Ahsoka season 2 is supposed to release.
I already see the marquees at the movie, like the big like cardboard cutouts when I go to AMC. They're already out.
Sick.
For which what?
For
the movie Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah, so it depends.
Advertising it.
It depends. Yeah, so Ahsoka season 2 is supposed to release mid to late 2026. Mando and Grogu movie is supposed to be. I want to say, yeah, it should be.
I think it's May.
Tell me May 22nd.
I'm gonna look. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But like if we think about Thrawn, right, as a GL, and we talk about, we want that movie to be out already. Realistically, announcing Thrawn itself, everybody knows Thrawn is the big bad. So that it's not like we're ruining that. And we don't actually have to give him a kit, or we don't have to announce the kit or show the kit until, if we're talking about a year cycle, we don't have to do that until late August into September. And we can take some inspiration for new characters from old things. So like for me, I would get all wet in the pants if Eli Vanto was a marquee. Like I would be like, hey, this is great. I will wail the hell out on this character. They can start developing these things. They don't have to announce them to us or give us a lot of the marquees until after that movie's already gone and done with. And we'll still meet a 1-year cadence.
Well, and odds are they will let it release and then we'll start going into that particular thing. I would say that Imperial will probably even start a new faction that separates Imperial Remnant again, because I don't think they're going to want to tie that up again with another new faction. So
the Enoch Death Trooper Peridia and Night Trooper team still feels like it's missing something really, really big to be a cohesive team.
Yeah, but I think, in my opinion, they're going to sidestep that and either give us something to support it and call it a day, or just go, hey, Enoch goes and lives as the 5th under DTMG.
And it could be a question that gets answered by Ahsoka season 2. They could, there could be a character in Imperial Remnant that shows up in Ahsoka season 2, and they're like, oh, there we go. We'll add that to the Enoch team.
Well, and the synopsis for the movie is supposed to be about the Imperial warlords banding back together under Thrawn, right? So Thrawn returns, he bands the warlords back together as to actually be a, threat against the galaxy again. And so that's going to be kind of the thing. I don't know if they solve the problem in that one, because that's the unfortunate part of using the Mandalorian and Grogu as the basis for that, because I don't think that's where that should be addressed with Mando, because it's hard. I don't know. I feel like the Mandalorian is a character that's been thrust too much in the spotlight, and I don't like that for being like, for the overall vibe of his character, I guess. It doesn't feel like he should be in the middle of everything.
Yeah, I don't think he is. Even looking at the trailer, you see no hints of Thrawn. I don't think Thrawn is going to be the villain in that film.
I don't think it's the pinnacle. I think his return will come at the end of it. I think what will happen is more of what happened in season 4 of Mandalorian, where you're engaging with individual warlords. And at the end of the movie is where Thrawn returns from Peridia and starts reuniting the Imperial forces under one banner again.
Yeah.
right? Like I think that's where they'll lead the end of the movie, and they might use that as the point for Thrawn, because I mean they used less to go off of for making GL Ahsoka, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. But I think they might build up a little bit different, because I think it'd be kind of silly for them to push Thrawn out 2 years and then reuse old Marquise as part of the main formation for his team.
It feels too late, doesn't it?
They've done really well at handing us the GL teams they want us to use, and I think that does better for kit dynamics and building. So I would be surprised, but anyways,
yeah. So for GLs, I honestly don't know. Like to me, it all seems a little bit open season right now. It's too far to sell, but I wouldn't be surprised if we got like an ISB faction next year. Because that'd be kind of cool.
Some Andor stuff, more Andor content.
Yeah,
I think the one thing I'll say about GLs is, like, I know some people have said with Hondo, they're like, oh, Hondo, he's great. I mean, I know some people like pirates and they love Hondo, but they're like, he doesn't deserve GL status. And I think that people need to understand, one, GL is just a random ass name that they came up with in a meeting to denote higher than epic confrontation. But two, if we take the word galactic legend at its face value, right, it's just somebody who's well known. And we've known for a long time that they kind of want every major faction to kind of have the idea of maybe they're going to get a GL, and that's why we see that future proofing with like DCs, where there's like, oh, if there's no Wookiee GL, if there's no Separatist GL, they're open to any faction being it. And like Hondo is he's the pirate, right? He is the pirate. He might not have a fucking lightsaber penis, but he's the pirate. And I think that you can say the same thing about any faction. They might not be fucking like Luke Skywalker, but like within that ecosystem of characters, they are that character, and people need to calm down.
They're the most notable of that faction, right? That's kind of the idea.
Correct.
Yeah. Fair. All right, cool. Let's move on, as we still have plenty of questions, although I think my mouse has just died, so I can't actually look at the questions. Let me try and grab them. Okay, my mouse has come back alive once again. Apologies there. So Stars is the guy who just asked that question, so thank you, Stars. GDJT asks, only so I know how I disappointed you will be when the 10th anniversary is revealed. Okay, only so I know how disappointed you will be when the 10th anniversary is revealed. What do you hope we get for the 10th anniversary? Okay, yeah, what are you guys hoping for the 10th anniversary of Swibber?
Plenty of things to swipe plastic on. And then I'm hoping for I want a week where they bring all the era battles back, right? Like bring everything back we've done so far. Run the assault battles like one every day. Run the Naboo battle an extra time that month. Run the Peridia Patrol extra time. Bring back the Ahsoka battle. Run all of that for like the week of the thing, and then as outside of that, all I'm hoping for is 3 to like 12 pages of a post from CG that's just like, here's all the stuff we're doing. Here's where everything big's going. Here's all the cool stuff coming out the back. So that way, when I'm taking my constitutional in the John that day, that I can stay for an hour and a half and have plenty to do.
Fair enough. Yeah, lots of stuff to swipe your credit card on. How about you, Egg? What are you hoping for?
I mean, if you look at the anniversaries over the years, right? Like, I know that first, for totally subjective reasons, 10 is like this cool number. But every year we get like an inbox reward, and we get a ton of like Lightspeed bundles, or at least the last couple of years since Lightspeed bundles have come out. I think already we've seen a lot more than we usually do when we talk about the conquest that we currently have and how they've kind of done that throwback with the characters. I don't really think we're going to see too much more than what we normally see. If not, maybe just the reward we get is much bigger. Mm-hmm. I will definitely agree with Karthik that I do think, even if I'm not sure if it'll happen, I do think it would be the perfect time to drop like the most massive road ahead ever and say, hey, Relic Delta, blah, 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 fine. This is our plan over the next year. This is what to expect. This is what's coming out. And hopefully it's things that excite people. But I will say what I said earlier. Clone Wars Chewie has been the joke for 10 years. I just really, really, really think it would be epic if they were even more in on that joke and said, hey, by the way, now we're going to make him usable.
Yeah, that would be great. I would be on board with that. And if you can go with Padme, as we saw before, that would be very happy.
Clone Wars Chewie finally gets an Omicron.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Do it.
I'll be down for that. Yeah. So, I mean, for me, I would like us to have the 10-year anniversary is the biggest milestone that they've ever had in this game. Like, nothing really compares. Like, 10 years is a long fucking time for a mobile game to be around and still be pretty successful. Like, they have to go big, in my opinion. And that just means celebrate what makes Galaxy of Heroes great, right? So I would like them to give out a load of free shit, like they always do, but make it really special. They obviously always go like, usually these anniversaries, they'll be like, oh, what marquees came out this year? You'll get 10 shards of each of these marquees, right? So in this case, it'll be like all the pirates you'll get like 10 shards of, and then maybe you'll get 10 shards of the clones and the Jedi Vanguard and all that sort of good business and the new ships. And everybody will be like, yeah, but let's make it something really, really special and give us like a full Omicron, give us some new, like Carl said, what are we planning for coming ahead? Or was that you, Eric? Sorry. Give us an idea of what we can expect, and not let it be just everything that we already know about, which is Relic Delta. So, because we've had that in the past, we've had Road Ahead, and it's just like, oh, this is no new news at all. This is everything we already know. Like, and
Did you know that Thrawn is required at Relic 7?
I mean, do you know that you can take your characters to relic levels now? Like, yeah, give us something new and juicy to work with, and obviously, give us a legendary Galen Marek with proxy unlock. Clearly, that's got to be it. Until we get proxy in the game, I will not rest.
I will give you that if I get Bail Organa.
Okay, I mean that's a fair trade-off. Also, they have to give us 330 shards of Clone Wars Chewie, but in increments of 3 shards apiece. So it's like 110 drops of 3.
With Clone Wars Chewbacca, Omicron. Okay, I need those two together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there you go. There's your team. Your 3-man.
We are so setting ourselves up for disappointment on this, aren't we? Yeah,
we're setting the whole community up.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Yeah, typically we always overshoot on what we infer from what CG says, and then we get disappointed. It was the same thing that happened with the Smugglers Run 3, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, "Where are my relic materials?" And everyone's like, "But you're asking from a mod event for relic materials. Like, maybe we should have led with that expectation,
leveraged our expectations maybe a little bit."
No, that too.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so Diesel Cheese comes in with the next question, and he says, would you rather, guys, would you rather remove mods entirely from the game or relic levels entirely from the game?
I'd do one or the other.
Both of those suck.
I mean, if I had to do one or the other,
this is like, would you rather get kicked in the dick or spat in the eyeball? Right, you know, it's like, I don't want either of them. Really,
that's an easier choice. So if I had to get rid of one, I don't think it's a hard
choice at all.
If I had to get rid of one, it'd be relics. Same. If I had to get rid of one,
yeah, it's kind of an.
If you had to choose between the two, relics are a very linear thing, and mods are a very how you change your mods could change how a battle goes. So at least they make the battle slightly more interesting. Relics, it's. Every relic level is the same as any other relic level, across every character. So, yeah.
Wheel harder, bitch.
But I will say, removing either of those things is bad, in my opinion. Don't still do that.
Well, if we went back to gear instead of relic levels, then sure, that's your vertical progression. But yeah,
gear 17.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, definitely gear 17. Yeah, and level 150.
And the next raid, you will maybe get one piece for that next gear level, but also you might not.
Yeah, but most likely not. Yes. Yeah. So thank you, Diesel Cheese. Next question comes from Grand Emperor Thrawn. If we're getting a bonus planet in Rote, what is most likely? Peridia, Tanalor, Certos, Tantis, At-Aden. Can't say I've ever heard of that one. Just so that they can shove pirates in our face more, or something different. What do you guys think is the next potential bonus planet? I know Karths, because we've had this discussion a lot.
It's Dagobah.
It's clearly Dagobah. And it's going to be a neutral
Yeah.
planet, just so I can say that we've touched on every alignment. For
We
that
haven't
planet.
yet, though. Oh, sorry. No,
Yeah, because you said it's a dark side planet.
I
Egg
get
said
your
it's light
joke.
side.
I get your joke. I got
Yeah.
there. Sorry.
Yeah.
I got you. I would go that more than likely it would probably be something. I want to say dark side, but the pirate theme for the last, how
It was
long
about
ago
6 months or total.
Yeah, 6 months.
It's been like, well, yeah. That's been the vibe anyway. So I if I was to guess, I would say probably something around pirates if they wanted a new planet, just to further incentivize the Hondo investment and the Maz investment and everything else that goes with it. So that would be my guess. As the actual plan, I don't know which one they'd want to use. They could do Aden, they could do anything else. I don't see them doing Tanalor, and I don't see them doing Peridia. Peridia, because it falls outside of the scope of what this TB is, which is the Rise of the Empire, and Peridia happens way after that. Tanalor, possibly. The other ones, they're all kind of in the right time frame.
Technically, the actions that we've seen from Peridia happened after the fall of the Empire. So
yes,
it's wrong timeline. Not that we've got the planet Mandalore, and that
I think
had
Aten is the most likely, right? But I'm
Can't
really
say I've
hoping
ever
for
heard of
Naboo.
Yeah, Naboo was actually where I thought Karth was going, because he was saying for ages there's like they've got to bring Naboo.
They put so much effort into all the artwork for the events, though, for the Era battle,
It's a beautiful event,
for the Gungan battles, for the
raid.
For the raid. I mean, they put so much effort into it. It made so much sense to reutilize that that asset. But I mean, here we are. So
yeah.
Anyways, next,
good stuff. Okay, thank you, Grand Emperor Thrawn. A Lethal Goose, which is quite frankly a great name. Apologies if you answered this before, but I'm new to the channel. Well, welcome, Lethal Goose. Do you feel like the Skywalker Triad is still the best way to start a new account, or can players choose a different path with different GL goals and still be just as successful with a focused account? It's a great question.
Oh God.
I mean, Karth is a bit far removed from the early game at this point, I feel.
White plastic faster. That's
I mean, Karth did actually float the opinion of, hey, let's do a video series where we just try to whale as hard as fucking possible and see how far we can get and what the challenges that you face. So he's like the opposite of the guys that like, hey, let's start a new free-to-play account to see what the new game's like. God's like, nah, fuck that.
I can tell you that I work with some people like that, and the challenge they face, and they'll tell you there are not enough Zetas.
Yeah.
Buy.
That's what we literally talked about.
That's the challenge. There's not enough to buy.
Yeah, that was what we talked about last week. Is like it's not just that you run out of you can whale your rest way there. It's that you don't have enough Zetas, Omegas, meaningful Omicron that you can get your hands on. It's like and the cost on those. Now they're doing better. They have a $100 pack out for 100 Zetas, that's probably pretty freaking cheap for Zetas over the large
pound of Zeta, or $1 a Zeta.
Over the course of time. I mean, there used to be a time where $50 would get you 10.
Yeah. Inflation's a crazy fucking thing.
Yeah, that was the pack I used to buy would roll between 10 and 40 for $50. Yeah. And you could, so it was basically $20 for $100, and now you're getting the guaranteed high end rolls for the same price, and that was like a couple of years ago. So I mean, it's getting better, but the point of it is that whaling that aggressively, you run into the problem of that you just have to keep whaling on everything else that you do, because it's the only way to keep what you're buying functional, because so many Zetas are so integral to team dynamics.
Whaling begets whaling.
Yeah, that's how it goes. So,
but I guess to divvy back to the actual question, I would say it really depends on what your actual goals are. I started my free-to-play account nearly a year ago. It was December last year, and I had some goals, but it wasn't to be a super efficient account. It was, let's get to first in Fleet Arena as a priority. And then it was a case of, let's just try to optimize it from a PvE perspective. So I focused mostly on raid teams. So now that account is about 2.4 million. It's gotten into Bronzium now. I get first in fleet every day, and I scored 2.55 million in the raid. That is, as far as I'm concerned, pretty good. It's pretty good. It's okay. It has no money, and it's deliberately not gone into a big guild, because I had offers from guilds that were like 300-400 mil GP that would just take me day one sight unseen. And I was like, that's a little bit disingenuous and not reflective of the average player. So I'm in a guild that is about 120, 150 mil, I think, at this point. Not even sure. And we hit like the 4th box in the raid. Now, I don't have any GLs, and I don't have a plan to get them, because honestly, in my opinion, focusing on trying to improve GAC performance, that's a never-ending struggle that doesn't really give you much bang for your buck. In my opinion, focus on getting really good raid scores, and that will progress your account at a faster rate and still give you some very relatively viable PvP teams to work with. Fleet is more important. So.
Well, and the short answer is, when it comes to the game, is that you should always be investing in what is going to boost your economy of income. And so you're gonna pivot more to characters that have events, characters that are needed for the raid, characters that give you.
So I've got the Peridia Patrol, Duel of the Fates at R7.
So I mean that's the kind of stuff you're gonna lean into with a new account more these days. Is hitting your economy events as fast as you can, and then worrying about GLs, because most of the early GLs, they don't give you great teams. Like, now that Zori's in the game and she exists, you still have to farm her separately from the Lightspeed bundle, but that does lift up the B team. But without having the rest of the new components for Ray, most of your resistance team goes to live under Ray until you get Ben and you get, maybe a couple better Ufus and whatever else. Slacker, the outside of what he uses for First Order, the rest of the First Order team sits in obsolescence for all of time. They don't really have a use. And so a lot of those GLs they make you level up a lot of stuff that doesn't have additional viability elsewhere in the game. Whereas the GLs that do, to a degree, have some viability would be things like Java or Leia or whatever else, where their faction tag or their specific economy events. Leia sucks, but that's not the point. That they benefit your account from investing into those. There's an ROI to be seen on investing in those particular things. That's more or less where newer accounts should focus on, is getting in and getting your economy events doable, and then getting those rewards, while then you go back and double up on everything else, because GAC is going to ebb and flow on what you matchmake into. And some days you're gonna crush it, and other days you're gonna find that 15 million GP player who hasn't played GAC, and he's gonna show up and do his 3 battles, and you're gonna lose. So that's it happens.
Thoughts, Seg?
I mean, I'm the one creator who does not have a free-to-play account, who does not have an alt account. And when people come to me for roster reviews and they say, hey, I just started my account like 6 weeks ago, please help me, I say, go, I can't, so I do agree that.
Have you asked Nooch?
Yeah. Well, I used to say go to Locator, right? But Locator is now defunct and he's quit the game. I do agree that resource events are important, because that is over time just going to help you to be able to, build quicker. But when it comes to what is the most efficient, I feel like I don't come into my own until someone is already at that point where they're saying, okay, I have my first GL and I have already gotten my fleets kind of to that I'm thinking about executor point around. Usually if you're not hyper involved, or it's not your first rodeo, or it is your first rodeo, is usually around like 3 million to 4 million. So I don't feel like I have anything important that I can add to that.
That's fair. Yeah. Cool. So Grant Almighty asks the question, if we're allowed to talk about it, has Relic Delta led to new counters within RD1 and RD2? For instance, is Jedi Master Mace Windu now good for anything?
No. The short answer is no.
The variance there is too small. Like 5 to 10% doesn't make a meaningful difference in any counter, really. Like it's
Yeah, there's nothing new under the sun. You start getting to Relic Delta 3 and 4, that changes the scale quite a bit on what's possible. Yep. But 1 and 2, it was designed to not be that punishing intentionally. So
yep,
that's all the wind I'll put into that sail.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So Sith Squirrel, I'm trying to run through these because we still have a shitload of questions. Sith Squirrel says, will they introduce a way to scrap mods and claim back some or if not all of the parts invested? Next big... this is a multi-part question. So. I don't think so. Next big squad should either be the Acolytes or the Knights who say nee. I mean the Knights of Ren. Thoughts? And Karth, are you responsible for all those lovely ladies? Yes. Yes. I think Egg and I are the ladies. We're lovely. So
I mean, I'll take it.
I have no context of what that question was for.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm at a loss. I have no idea.
Acolytes or Knights of Ren, then, gents?
I would take Knights of Ren over the Acolyte characters in general.
I'd like to see them in general. I think they're cool.
The Knights of Ren would be way more interesting, I think. But I'm on the fence if CG wants to pursue the Acolyte further because I just don't think the interest is there. But it's never stopped CG before, so I don't want to say no. But if I had to choose, it would be Knights of Ren. And I have no idea who I'm responsible for. I, in theory, shouldn't be responsible for anything.
Yeah, so we've already decided that we're the two.
We are definitely the lovely ladies. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, but being responsible for you still worries me.
Thank you.
I'm not responsible with a credit card, let alone people.
Fair. Egg, you have any thoughts? Do you think Acolyte or Knights of Ren?
I think Knights of Ren is definitely going to be cooler, but when we talk about like what CG wants, I think the other important thing to keep in mind here is that it's really not what CG wants. It's what CG wants that Disney also wants. Yeah. Right. Like what people need to understand is that is part of the equation is that any kind of game that you have like this, and especially with Disney, who is super, super tight-lipped and very stringent with their IPs, anything that CG wants to do, they have a rep. They have a liaison at Disney, and they're going back and forth constantly about what they can do, what they can't do. And there are probably a lot of characters in the game where Disney has said, no, you are doing this character next. Right. So I think that it's more that than it is CG. But I think Knights of Ren would be a much more interesting part. I
mean, I think Knights of Ren is more likely than Acolyte, to be honest. We are still coming to 10th anniversary of Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Force Awakens.
I think that could come.
And there is supposed to be some sort of cool dark side Ufu Acolyte character. Not the show, but
they could be dark side Ufus.
They could do something with that. I don't know.
Mara Jade Unleashed.
Yes, let's do it.
Maris Brood.
Yeah.
Mara Skywalker.
Oh my god. All right.
Couldn't be dark side, but
next question comes from Sa. He says, do the clock changes mess everyone's fleet payouts? No, they shouldn't.
Yes, they do.
Yes, really? They do.
Yes, they do. Yep. And it's great. It's actually great because this is the clock's back. So tonight, I never do it on the day of because CG doesn't know how to deal with the day of. But tomorrow, I will do my fleet payout. Then I will change my time, and then I will do my fleet payout a second time, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. So your in-game clock doesn't shift back until the United States does. Their
I mean, so mine shifted back an hour now, but I think it goes back to normal when you guys do it. So I need to check.
No, mine is permanently an hour sooner. So I used to be 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock for my arena and then fleet, and now I'm noon and 1, and that'll be that way until spring.
And I always change. Some people keep it that way. They like to keep it. They go, all right, that, and now it's earlier. I like to keep mine consistent. So I will jump mine ahead tomorrow.
It 100% depends on if anyone's in your time slot after you. Because
we both have old shards, right? My shard just doesn't even care anymore. But I just like the consistency in my day.
It's weird for me because my fleet payout has obviously been an hour early for the last 2 weeks. And now it's back to my normal flight payout time because you guys have changed your clocks now. So for me, it's my normal time it always is, which is kind of strange. But hey, I don't understand it. Time. It's a funny old thing.
It's a valuable thing.
I don't
Something with a
get it.
pendulum.
So Grogu asks then, what are your predictions for a new game mode coming soon? Have we talked about this?
Well,
we've kind of talked about this, yeah.
Ish.
I don't think... He does ask, will it replace TW? I don't think it replaces anything.
I don't think they plan on introducing anything that replaces anything. That's my speculation. But
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw innovations to current game modes that make them take less time, but I don't think it replaces
I would hope
anything.
so. That's the only way you can give us more. Because it's the game, if you're playing competitively, already takes a long time.
It does. It does. Yeah. So thank you, Grogu. Dragos asks, is Relic... Oh, and what it would reward, probably Relic 10 stuff. Is Relic 10 going to make unmanned ships obsolete in the endgame? No.
No, but they do need to address it at some point.
They do.
Where I think what they'll end up doing is they will do another unique where they will slave the stats of the ship to the capital ship pilot is what I think they should do.
Yep. Seems reasonable. Seems reasonable to me. Yeah. It doesn't make it obsolete. It has a very, very minimal input onto ship stats. Very minimal. But Clark is right. If we get like Relic 15, then it's going to mount up to a significant difference if they don't change anything.
The only thing that's going to change, since it'll change how durable the ships are because they're scaled to like Relic 7.
Yeah.
But what they'll either update them to scale them up properly, or what they'll end up doing is they'll slave them to something else, so that way there's a way to monetize it. Lastly, for every single meta right now that exists in the game, there are no pilotless ships that are needed on a speed check. So I think we'll all survive it.
Yeah. Cool. Kitch asks, is it more likely that the gap in the calendar after Zuckus is for the big update for the community to get used to it? Obviously, CG would still be selling R10 mats. Potentially, I guess.
I think it was intentionally just to have they wanted to do two separate things, and they didn't want to get the cart further ahead of the horse than they had to. So they cut the current era short to only be 2 episodes, and then they added that 3rd episode to the beginning of the next era, and that's why it just split the way it was. They didn't want to lead with more information. They had to, because usually when we do an era, they tell us everything that's coming with it, and I don't think they were finalized on what would have been in episode 3 of this particular era. And so they split it into its own, just 2 separate eras, just to keep the information more close knit until they were ready to release it.
Now, do you think that this next era episode, whatever it is, and I know that the counterpoints to it, but is going to be the dark side Ufu for the Stranger? And now, before you answer that question, I know that the counterpoint is, well, the Stranger doesn't come out for 2 months, but my counterpoint to that is Jocasta New and also SM33 coming out way before his team was even released as Marquise.
Mm-hmm. They totally fumbled that. The Maz should have come first, but hey. That's
it would have made more sense, right?
Irrelevant. Yeah. It definitely would have made.
I feel like Maz wasn't ready yet, and that's why they maybe shifted them. Yeah, but that's why I think it doesn't really matter if the Dark Side Ufu comes out earlier than the Stranger does.
No, I don't think it does. I wouldn't be surprised if it is, because they have to get it sometime, and we know it's going to be another 2 months before we get the Stranger, but they're going to disappear for a month as well. They're gone from about mid-December to mid-January. So that leaves a big gap where another conquest.
And if you think about it, for the, I don't want to say free-to-play players, but like for all of the players who are not going to fully whale on that character, it puts them in a position now where they're going to be unlocking the Stranger right around the time that whatever this Ufu is would be farmable, which would at the very least make players more interested in refreshing that node, or maybe shipment farming that character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's fish out. Okay, so Bay asks, and the next conquest cycle brings with it a new Datacron set, and we lose the Wampacron. That is a big loss. The Rolocron and the Sorticron, amongst others. Is there anything Datacron-wise you, the team, would like to see in the new set? Anything that negates Relic Delta is obviously not allowed. Yeah.
I mean,
rest in peace to Wampacron, bro. Like, I've loved that cron.
If they want to keep doing like cheaper FDCs that are like level 9s, and then like, because like that's the thing is, the Rolocron had its uses, and it's a great stat stick.
Yeah.
The Wampacron has its uses, and it's a great stat stick. The Swordicron has its uses, and it's a great stat stick. The Vadercron is dog shit,
Garbage.
basically every which way besides defense and crit damage, which is like a very, very unique situation. So it's like, for me, I'm like, I don't mind them doing the level 15s, but like the stats need to be a little bit more interesting. And the crons need to have a little bit more plug and play viability. If you're going to do like super, super, super restrictive level, like, 3, 6, 8, 9, whatever the levels are that you do for the FTCs. So I mean, like, for me, I'm okay with them doing the 4 where they do 2 that are a little bit weaker but decent on the stats, and 3 that are, or 2 that are good, and they require more investment. But I don't know. I feel like they need to think through some of those FTCs a little bit more on the team that they're building around. Either need to be doing something worth your goddamn time, or the stats there needs to be like the Rolocron, where like the level 3 and 6 is a little bit more universally applicable, so there's more flexibility for it. I think the Vadercron just got left in the dust because the Rolocron has great stats and the level 3 is amazing. And the Vadercron's like, yeah, but wouldn't it be really cool if I just said no to all of that and gave you dog shit? Because what is the level 3, isn't it? Yeah, it's tied to explicitly Snowtrooper.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yes.
And it's just a trash team that they've tried to build.
Yeah.
They've tried to make it sound really cool and interesting, but it's just shit. So that's the problem.
well, the thing of it is,
but we're not really answering the question here. Is what would you like to see?
Well,
not how shit is the Darth Vadercron.
But you know what? As much as the Darth Vadercron was terrible, I like that they tried it. I like when they do weird things, right? And that's the same thing with Zalbar's Omicron. I like when they bring teams to some degree of prominence that aren't being used a lot. So like the Jawa-cron is really interesting. And I think it's really interesting, one, because it's a team that isn't getting used, but it's also a team that doesn't have any Zetas. So for like a player in the mid game, you might not have Jawas completely built, but you can say, oh, you know what? I'm going to get them to G12 because I don't have to worry about investing the things that are really, really, really tough for me. I want to see more like things like that. I want to see Tuskens, and I know that the newer Tuskens have Zetas. I want to see Old Republic, but you have to use like a legitimate Old Republic.
Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see like these strange things that change up how we interact with GAC.
Yeah, definitely. I like the crons, like the Wampacron and the Sidious Cron. I like it when it's, it doesn't have to be all encompassing, but it's fun things that use characters that you don't maybe always get to use. Like I'd argue personally that the Jawacron probably is fun, but generally it's just a phenomenal stat stick. Like it's such a good stat stick.
Give me a cron that makes my team like Padme, Qui-Gon, Jar Jar, and GK. I don't know. Like break up some teams and give me some crazy stupid team that makes something fun, but it's also thematic to the Phantom Menace. And interesting. And I know it breaks things up and it'll cause chaos if you use Gungans a lot, but I don't care. That is what makes GAC interesting to me.
And my caveat to that is, if they're going to do crons like that, where they're taking unique ideas, do it on a level 9, like a one that maxes at level 9. Like do it on a 15. Cheaper one. Yeah, the Vader one was so expensive for mediocre use, and it's just like, all right. Anyways. That's all I've got.
That's all I got.
We have so many questions to get through.
Still do. Okay. Speedrun the questions. Caracal asks, hi Caracal, fellow content creator over there. Mr. Egg and Handsome Mr. Egg. We can fight over who is Handsome Mr. Egg. Describe the perfect burger. The one that's in my mouth. That's the perfect burger at the time.
Medium, and it has to have jalapenos.
I need one that has meat, more meat, lots of meat, and cheese.
Yeah, but are you someone that you get a burger that you can't fit in your mouth and you're okay with that? Because I feel like that was a thing.
No,
I can't do that.
There is a restaurant here in town called FU Burger.
Did you say restaurant?
Yeah, restaurant here in town.
I heard restaurant.
That's a
thing. So I wanted to clarify.
When you go motorboating.
It's called FU Burger, but like 80% of their burgers are, like you cannot. unless you're grabbing them and oozing everything out of them, like you cannot get that into your mouth in one bite. They're huge. Like they have one where it's like 3 patties, bacon, and then like chicken fingers on top of your burger.
See, that just sounds like a mission to eat. Like if I want to be able to bite it, it has to fit in my mouth.
Yeah,
you want to get a full bite.
Yeah, I want a full bite. So like I want to bacon in a burger, like a couple patties, and cheese is like the main core thing, and then I like a little kick. So either some jalapenos or or a sriracha sauce on the burger or something like that. That's more or less perfect.
The ones that I have around here comes from a place called Burger Boys, and they do smash burgers basically, but multiple patties. And I like it when you have smash burgers with a bit of chorizo, some melted cheese, and absolutely jalapenos. I like a kick in my burger.
Always.
Smashing. Fucking love it. Fucking love it. Fucking A. Good question, Caracal. Thank you, sir. Darth Jar Jar asks, do you think the game needs to change how we star up capital ships and proving ground characters, with it taking 17 months to get a 7-star without spending crystals? Proving grounds, yes. Capital ships, no, personally. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, quickly, I think that people need to understand that sometimes you have to spend crystals, right? And that doesn't mean you have to spend 27,000 crystals in one day, but that might mean, all right, once a month, I'm going to refresh it once. And now it doesn't take 17 months, it takes 8 months. You know, that's just, you have to leverage your resources.
I would like to see them lower the crystal refresh cost for Proving Grounds characters in particular, because I think it does take too long. But I don't think, if they halve the cost, I think it's in a decent place. But that's kind of about it. Like ships, I think is fine. A lot of the times, like you said, you don't have to rush to 7 stars. You're perfectly viable at like 5 stars usually. So yeah, and you could spend a couple of thousand crystals each month to kind of speed it up a little bit if you wanted to. Want to. But it's not necessary most of the time. But yeah, Proving Grounds, I would just like to see them lower the refresh cost, half the refresh cost to make it a little less painful. Either that or you double the shards that they reward. Because 18 months, 17 months is way too long.
Well, they need to start doing
the reason I think they won't do that is the Conquest Plus Pass, right? Because that's one of the big reasons why people get it is, oh shit, double Proving Grounds.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, or just do accelerated on older Conquest units and double the shards that you get at them so you can get them faster. On the ones that are over, let's say a year and a half old. It'd be,
technically it could be 2 years older. So say they've been in Proving Grounds for
a year after Proving Grounds.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, yeah, you could say, you could be 2 years after release, right? So they've been in Proving Grounds for a year, and they were released a year prior to that, and then you could say that those characters get accelerated, or you lower their crystal costs, whichever way.
Yeah. Cool. Good question, then. Rover asks, I have to ask, even though I know the answer. No, Karth's not seen Skeleton Crew. We know this. Have you seen the opening scene, though? Or the opening screen? Have you seen the opening credits?
I got all the way to on Disney Plus to opening up the show to watch episode 1. And then I stopped.
Yeah, that's fair. No surprises there, I think. Good friend.
No.
So 10-year anniversary, do you think we'll get a special unit release? Or is it just going to be more normal stuff? We kind of answered this. I don't think we get a unit necessarily. Not like a bonus unit or anything like that.
No, I don't think so.
If we are doing character double drops again, doubles, like paired characters like Han and Chewie, who would you like to be the next double and from which faction? I mean, mine is obviously Galen Marek and Proxy.
I quite literally could not tell you. I couldn't. No idea.
Yeah.
Oh, what about those girls from the Ahsoka show?
Oshira and May.
Yeah. No. The ones from Clone Wars. The scoundrel girls that Ahsoka ends up helping in season 7. Or 6 or whatever that ends up being.
On that one planet for a little while. I don't remember their names.
And they keep coming back and everything. Like they're in the Bad Batch like a couple of times, and then they wound up in I think Tales of the Jedi as well. I don't remember. Anyways, I don't want them, but that's what jumped in my head.
Yeah. And finally, are we going to get special events for previous GLs? Now Ahsoka's having one. Potentially is all I would say. Who knows?
I'm hoping
I hope so, but I don't think so.
at the minimum, I hope they go back to touch up on Leia's. I don't necessarily want everyone to have one, but Leia's needs some TLC.
I don't think I've ever gotten the good roll, right? Like you see people post
only ever
pictures
had
of
one
like, oh
only.
my god, I got all these great things. I've
I
never
have
gotten a good roll.
yet to see the droid brain payout on my accounts.
Yeah. I get my one Omicron and I go, okay, great.
I cry a little bit, you know. I weep, but I get over it, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wyatt Tincher asks, I quit the game for 4 months from Pirates and Jedi Mace Windu being useless except for a week when I unlocked Bane to get him to R9. Starkiller Lifter is getting me back into it, okay? Could a team like Stranger, Starkiller, Malicos, Cat, Gas, or Ezra be game-breaking? I mean, I don't think you really want to throw Ezra or Gas in that team.
Well, so Malicos can't go with that team at all. Cat can, but Cat has a problem with that particular. She's got too many callouts to needing like light side and
Leader,
not leader, but Gothic Republic. She'll have problems. Gas would be a good enough Jedi, but I don't think it's not the one you want to use. Ezra is the one that I'm eyeing as being an absolute monster there.
Mm-hmm.
So Starkiller Malika, so Stranger, Starkiller, Ezra would be interesting, but the 3v3 version of it is going to be Stranger, Starkiller plus the new Darkside Ufu they're going to release.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's going to do as well on defense. You know, like I feel like there's going to be enough to kill it on. I know we've just saw it in Conquest, but Conquest is never a good indicator because there's other things going on. I don't think it's going to do as great on defense because there's a lot of like advanced mechanics. So if it's blowing shit up on offense, I don't care because you've just burned 3 teams in order to make this one super team.
Yeah, that'll be rough.
Yeah,
it'll do well. It'll beat a lot of things. I don't think there's anything in that we can do right now that's going to make it game breaking unless it's data. You're starting to talk about datacrons, which will be a time and a place.
They will definitely. Usually when we get new releases like we're having with the Stranger, it'll be followed by datacrons for that particular faction that's going to be working with them. Not necessarily have a Stranger level 9, but there might be a level 9 for Starkiller or something in a new food team. That's gonna make the team a little bit more fucky and might sort of dictate what units you'll be able to use in the team, at least temporarily. So yes, I think Stranger is going to be a wild team personally. I think it's going to be really fucking powerful. And I can't wait. Thank you, Wyatt. Next question comes from Trodat. I'm a 9-year-old player. He's a player that's been playing for 9 years, or he's either 9 years old, I'm not sure. Unlocked my 9th GL today. Lots of 9s in this post. Lord Vader with R7 DAC clones. Okay, fine. The only faction who hasn't had a recent touch-up are Jawas. I'm waiting for the question, Trader. Is a new Jawa character a possibility to force people to invest in the team and make them use the team in certain circumstances? I mean...
I don't think so, just because we just got the Datacron.
The answer is no. Well, the answer is no, because the Jawas are a one-trick pony. They do one thing really well, and that's it. Teams that attack out of turn, that cannot resist the thermals, they'll decimate. But the team would need a straight-up like conquest unit lifter to do anything viable, because the entire team is based off of old stats. Even the Omicron doesn't do enough. They're just too squishy. They're not tanky enough. Their mechanics don't work in the present game. You would need to overhaul everything.
We're getting the old lady from The Mandalorian.
Oh God.
Yes, definitely. Yes. The
I
Jawa
slept
lover.
with that one. Is there a new unique blue buff?
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, she has like I don't know, like a lover buff status effect that she pairs with one other Jawa, and when it dies, she passes it to a different Jawa, I guess, because got to keep things going.
She gets it around.
So Grand Emperor Thrawn asks, thoughts on the Chimera getting a mercenary fleet next year or perhaps later?
0.
I think they're going to go very easy. I do think we're going to get another Galactic Republic and another Empire ship so that we get, like I was saying before, the ability to use all of the fleets. But I think they're going to go lowest common denominator. They're not releasing an entire fleet of ships to do that.
No, they'll at the most, like Empire might get 2, because I mean they'll just do something that builds up the scythe even further. And I guarantee you there'll be a reinforcement ship for the scythe to make that. They'll give the scythe a reinforcement ship that allows it to delete one of the summons, so that can always reinforce, and then it will have a proc off of that. But that would be my guess for that. Galactic Republic needs another clone trooper ship to make endurance do something useful. So,
okay.
Anyways, but yeah, no mercenary fleet.
So Wyatt has a follow-up question saying, do we think that the Sia Malicos, well, not Sia Malicos anymore, the Stranger SK Malicos setup could possibly be the strongest team in the game, considering it could have like 12 GAC Ommis? Now, you mentioned earlier, Karth, that Malicos won't fit on the team.
He will. I totally was blanking. I saw the double UFUs, and I was like, you can't have two. But Starkiller is the other one, and he allows for it. So it would work, but Malicos is going to, I think his kit does not interact properly with the Stranger. I want to say there's a problem with it, and I'll have to go back through and read it to find out. But Malicos is so curtailed to work with how Seer lets him ramp all that offense for all the turns they take ahead of him, that I don't think it would quite work the same. But it's possible that it still works. But I think the Stranger and Starkiller in general, plus this new UFU they're building out for the team, this thing's going to slap a lot of GLs in the face. Yeah. So I am not. And then the specialties are all GAC Omicrons. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
It's all GACs. That's going to be wild. I still think it's going to have one big weakness, which is, can't you just JMK Cat and yeet Stranger out, and then most of the problem is solved? But
until they give him instant defeat immunity.
Yeah.
My guess that might just be the weakness they give it, right?
Yeah.
Say, I'm going to use JMK here.
Yeah. So it's definitely going to be fucking nails. Definitely going to be fucking nails. And I'm really excited for it.
There's a lot of power potential for it, but they are giving us the last UFU on that team. So we'll see what it is.
Yeah. And we have to assume that it's going to be something so very specifically tailored for that team that it's going to make us not want to use Malicos.
I'm assuming it's going to give some TW viability to the team. Is my guess is what that character will do.
Okay, so Little Cuzzle over here asks, with Relic Delta coming to the game, I've significantly cut my spending until I see how it affects gameplay. Is that a mistake, especially with the anniversary stuff happening? Do you think the anniversary stuff will happen before or after Relic Delta, or at least what the plan changes are for Relic materials? I mean, I think Relic Delta is going. Things will blow over. You'll be okay in the long run. We will adapt. Whether or not that means cutting your spending is the smart thing to do, you can play this game free to play. It's perfectly possible.
It's what we talked about on Friday, right? If you have something you are working towards, a GL or a legendary unit, keep investing in those things. You're just move forward, because those things are going to keep rewarding you once you've unlocked them, and that's not going to really change anything about what the game's doing. The one that you don't want to do is you just don't want to be like, all right, I want to move an entire team from R5 to R7 to be more compatible with Relic Delta. And you might find out later that they changed some of the economy stuff, but you're not going to be too negatively impacted for getting a new legendary or whatever else. And if you had to spend a little bit more to do it, it's not going to be the end of the world. But like, I wouldn't be like trying to mass upgrade my account until we see what the economy changes are. But if you're actively working on something, don't delay, unlocking a GL for another 3 to 4 weeks because, I don't know what Relic Delta is going to do. It's like, there's no point. Just unlock it and be done with it, move along. But if you want to hold back on everything else that's not necessary until we see it, then that's fine. There's no problem. There shouldn't be a problem with that.
Yeah. Anything to add on that one, Egg? Or do you think we're about
No, I mean, I've been saying this for a while when it comes to Relic Delta is, especially with the economy change, like spend on the things you need material-wise. Spend on the things that you need to spend on, things that will immediately benefit your account. Anything that's extra, I'm holding off on because I don't want to get screwed over there. But in terms of like spending, right? Like I agree. I am the kind of person where when I'm happy, I spend more. When I'm upset, I spend less. So I understand the mentality. But if you're not going to quit the game and you feel like this big event cycle, you're going to miss out on it. The deals are typically very cheap. Like, don't fuck yourself over.
Yeah, pretty much. Thank you for the question. So Grand Emperor Thrawn asks, do you think a Scarif raid is realistic for next year with the 10th anniversary of Rogue One coming and the 5th anniversary of Andor Season 1? If so, what factions? Anything's possible.
If they go down the route of Empire, it's possible. But
I mean, we could have a new ISB faction, and obviously Rogue One would have to be there as well.
Yeah, I'm not certain, because I am almost of the mindset that they let this Order 66 raid drag on for a little bit longer than they probably wanted to. I think this will go longer than even the Naboo raid ran, just to give us more time to sort that out. We'll get it,
personally, but
they'll give us something. What it's for, I have no idea. Rebel, fine, sure, whatever.
Yeah, Rebel, Fighter, Rogue One, ISB or Empire.
They're all Relic 8. They'll sell me 3 or 4 of the new teams anyway. So what do I give a shit for what faction? Yes, like that's my only reason for being cynical. To get that out.
Yeah, sorry. Like, the new Jawa team will also be required for it.
They're gonna sell us 3 or 4 of the teams we need. So it's like, it almost doesn't matter to me what it is, because it's like I'm buying the new teams anyways. Who gives a shit? Just we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. All right, good. We're getting through these questions. We've only got a couple more. So Xander says, considering the beta test program, who is the biggest CG shill and why is it Egnard's?
Oh, that's Karthrik. That is.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know, like Xander, if you don't know Karthik, like he's way more than I do. When we go into like the discussions on Relic Delta, he's typically got his knee pads on. He's not even in a chair most of the time.
No.
I at least have the decency to pretend that I'm gonna sit back in my chair.
Well, see, what I do is I get that little chair the little like board that you move appliances on that has wheels, so that way you can kind of push around a little easier.
A little dolly, a trolley
dolly.
Yeah.
Yeah, maximizing efficiency here.
Exactly.
But I have no problem supporting the game and looking at things through the most positive light that I can, mostly because the fact that if I hated this game so much that all I wanted to do was sit on the internet and rage about it, why would I still be playing it? So like, I like to find positive things to focus in on. I like to give CG the benefit of the doubt. If I'm proven wrong, that's fine. You can have your I told you so moment, but I still don't care. Like, I still rather see this game in the most positive light that I can and try to persuade players of seeing it that way as well. So I do not care if I'm called a shill for anything. I wear it with a little badge of honor, just little middle finger of, you can't hurt my feelings. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Good shit. So it's clearly Karthrik is the massive CG shill here.
Yeah.
The Molten Flame asks, do you think they'll ever add an unscrapping mechanic, the way you can pay impulse detectors, droid brains, and the like to get half the return on the Git? No.
Doubt
Why
it.
would you do that?
No.
It's a waste of time.
No.
Like,
mostly because you couldn't guarantee what gear you put in to get it. So what would they do? Like divvy out one bayonet, one, armor piece or whatever? Like, no, that sounds like a pain in the ass for them. They would, why do it?
Yeah. Grand Emperor Thrawn asks, final question, how do you feel about a speeder bike mode where you race speeders and you have to upgrade them? Could be like vehicles, but not with a full vehicle node.
No.
I mean, you only have to look at the speeder bike raid and see how people reacted to that to know how they would react to more constant scrolling.
I know I don't spend a lot of time on Reddit anymore, but it was always interesting in the past when people would say, hey, I have this great idea for the game. And it was always something that was from another mobile game, but that was tangentially different from a hero collector.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, hey, why don't we add this merge mechanic? Or this game has this great mode where you play this match 3 thing. I don't play those games for a reason. Right? Like I want to play this hero collector that has battle mechanics. I don't want to play those other games. I don't want to play something that's very far removed from what I'm already here for.
That's a fair shout. Also, would GL Tyrannus or Tyrannus
Tyrannus.
Be better. Tear in your ass. Be a better than Hondo as a GL. P.S. Trench could be repurposed as a lifter. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having that as a GL. There's always options in the future.
I could go for some pajama Count Dooku. Like, I'm fine with it. But, I mean, it just depends on where they want to go. But I feel like with the what's on the horizon with Mandalorian Grogu and Ahsoka Season 2 and everything else coming out, I gotta believe that the content is going to be, we're going to have like Q1 of the next year is going to be kind of like what Bad Batch was for this last year. Mm-hmm. And then after that, it's going to be a deluge of just, here's all the new stuff.
Good luck.
Raid in 6 months after this is over.
Yeah. And it comes back to what I was saying before, right? About different GLs and Hondo, whether you like them or I don't like the pirates. I'm not pirates in Star Wars. It was never my thing, but I appreciate that people enjoyed them. And I also appreciate that Hondo is the name in pirates. So I don't think he'd be a better GL. And I don't think they made the wrong decision by appeasing a section of the community that does really like that aspect of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fair shout. They're just two very different things. It's okay. Yes, they could have pleased different people with different GLs. Sith Squirrel asks, why do we have 3v3 and 5v5 championships? Do we really need both?
I enjoy both, personally. I know people don't like threes. Yeah. I like that it's weird. I like that it changes things. I like that you have to think differently. I like that you can like figure out different ways to work. That's where Gidmay kind of was figured out, right? Like,
yeah,
I like that strangeness to it.
The only part I don't like is whenever we change from 5v5 to 3v3 or vice versa, because I always forget how to. You know, I'm like, how do we 3v3 again? How the fuck do we 5v5?
Especially when it's a new Datacron set.
Yeah. Oh, the first 3v3 is the worst because it's always new Datacron set has released. You've got a bunch of new teams. It's also in 3v3, so you have no idea how to use them, and everybody's like, they're fudge.
That's literally every 3v3.
Yeah, it's painful. The first week sucks.
I mean, it's interesting. It adds some new layers, but I don't think it does anything interesting enough because the rest of the game is played in 5v5, and so that was always been my issue with 3v3 is that it's the only game mode that uses it, and everything else is 5v5. Every other team is built for 5v5. All the mechanics are based around 5v5. The power most of the time is based on 5v5. So it's not my favorite. It's not terrible, but it's not my favorite.
Okay. As to why we have it, I don't know. Reasons. Reasons. And apparently, Egg, we are not the lovely ladies. Or maybe we are.
Well, fuck whoever that is. Who said that?
Seth Squirrel.
Or maybe,
I think we're
maybe, or maybe they are.
Or maybe.
It's possible.
Maybe.
I just have no idea what he was referring to beforehand. So, that's
it was clearly us. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah. All right.
And we have reached the final question from Wyatt. Once again, Starkiller Lifter is the first time in a while I've been happy thinking about the game. That's great. When thinking about how good the team will be, and answer how much more does the 3v3 CS Starkiller, or in this case it'll be Stranger Starkiller Malicos team, need to be the best team in the game? You replace Stranger with a GL. Like, non-GL teams are never going to be the best in the game, or they shouldn't objectively be the best in the game. But, also, candidly speaking, there's no real such thing as the best team in the game. Yeah. There's teams that beat lots of shit. Lots of shit beats lots of shit. But, yeah, usually you just have to, replace...
It's just going to... it's just going to come down to what's the cron like when that team comes to fruition, and what are we going to do?
It is usually the Datacron, right?
What counter just rolls it, right? Like, that's going to be the big thing. It's like, if there's a counter that just goes, hey, like Leia day one versus a GLAT, except for in TW, which is like, by the way, you're done.
That's how it should be, though. Every team should have a counter. So,
and I guarantee there will be. But that's the thing is, everyone looks at that. They're like, oh, this team's gonna be unbeatable, and then it dies to like Leia, and they're like, this is bullshit. Leia's too powerful. It's just like, man, dude. Do you want zero counters day one? Because that seems like a worse game game health environment.
It's usually like, look at the Dark Side Vision Ray Cron and what that did to the environment. Like, it had like 2 proper counters, and if one of those failed, you were most likely just fucked, right? It's
two
not
proper
a fun
counters.
way to
They
play
weren't
GAC.
even guarantees.
Yeah,
It made GAC not fun. I didn't
did,
enjoy
yeah.
playing GAC during that time. Even though I beat it 90% of the time,
Yeah,
it just
same.
was not interesting.
I felt like
like that
it
because
restricts
if I
it
failed-
restricts like
You need
it
to just
restricts
give up.
the strategy that you can take into GAC. It's like, okay, so this team's got 2 counters. I'll keep those 2 for offense and hope that I win. And
And if not, I walk away.
yeah, exactly.
That's what I did. I'd be like, all right, I'm done. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
and that's not fun. I like playing GAC. Like I enjoy playing.
And this
it.
stream's been cut short. We're going straight to drinking.
I didn't realize I didn't start drinking. Oh my gosh.
No, that was just your Friday night shows.
I mean, yeah.
For the
it's true.
GAC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. That was a lot more questions. I think we did like an hour of questions, hour and a half.
Hour and a
questions.
half.
Fucking
I
hell.
bring in the crowds.
Yeah. Eggnogs,
You
you never
bring in
coming
the
back ever again.
questions.
Just saying.
That's for God's sake.
Well, you know what? Last time with Wolf and the JML thing, I was like, he's never inviting me back. After going down that tirade, I figured there's never a time that I will ever be asked to do this again.
So we'll see you next Sunday then, is it, Egg? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, see, the problem that we ran into is that the main host arranger of this show actually did his job and server pinged before the show started to ask people to ask questions.
Yeah.
And then he casually name dropped this Egnards guy.
Yeah.
And then shit went off the rails very quickly.
So what I should
Who's
really take this
way
away
more
from this
popular than
is
Scribe.
just like don't. Well, yeah, there is that too. Is
See what a
just
head of hair will
don't
get
do
you,
a good
Scribe?
job. Yeah.
Popularity.
Yeah. This is what happens when you try to do good work. You get saddled with more work. I mean, just be a
I don't
low
do
achiever in life, guys. It's the best way to be. Okay.
That's me.
Oh my god! Awesome, cool. So this has dragged on
How I
way
got
too
me.
long.
No, I'm
I do, I do apologize. But Egg, I do want to thank you, bro. It's been great
Yeah,
having
of
you
course.
back on. We'll get you back on again next week, obviously, or soon thereafter.
It's my show now.
It's no longer Tribe Talks. It's Gungi's Talks.
It can be your show when you get a curtain for that window.
Yes.
You know what? Because normally I only stream either at night or early morning, so I never have to deal with that. This is the first time where I was like, oh, I think I need a curtain for that window.
Yeah. See, we're every day's a school day. That's good.
How we'll know that you're taking it seriously. Is when you buy a curtain. For
Oh,
that
if
window.
that's the case, then I'm not getting one.
On principle.
I need people to know that I'm taking it seriously.
Oh,
well, just tribe talks.
absolutely.
Just tribe talks, not the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Cool. That's amazing. Well, thank you everybody at home for joining us today. Apologies if we didn't get through to your questions in chat. The Discord is where we try to get them done. I'm not ignoring you, or am I? Maybe I am, but I still love you very much. We will be, yeah, Carl definitely is. Yeah. We'll be going live most likely again next Sunday with more Tribe Talks actions.
I will not be here.
We will not be
You will need 2 guests.
I need 2 fucking guests. God damn it. Be my guest. Be my guest. So yeah, amazing stuff. Thank you once again. Eggnods, anything you want to pimp before we close it off?
Yeah, I am BigBoat777 on Twitch. So follow me, like, comment, subscribe. That's it.
Sick. All right, guys. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Big love.